Hello! Finally. Ugh, late start. Stupid Twitch wouldn't actually tell me which game this was. I was trying to figure out how to do it because, well, usually it just comes up with Paradise Killer, but this time it did not. So, yeah. So I ended up using games and demos, which is not what I wanted to do because a lot more people should be playing this. So it's kind of sad that it's not recognised anymore. But, oh well. Yeah, so last time we left off, what did we do? We'd spoken to Dr. Doomjazz again, we'd spoken to, I forgot his name, Max something, Skeleton, and the other thing. We'd spoken to a whole load of more people, and, ooh. There we go. Oh, and we'd spoken to the prisoner and the prison lady, the prison guard. That was it. That's why we were here. And we had decided that he was probably innocent, because he looks pretty innocent. Well, he doesn't look innocent, but, you know, just because he's been thrown in jail doesn't make him guilty, as we all know. Even if he was standing over a body and had its blood in his stomach. But we'll take him at his word. Although his word was also, I don't remember. So we'll just give him the chance anyway. It's all highly coincidental and very circumstantial. Especially given that there's some other untrustworthy bugger hanging around that nobody actually trusts. Especially not me. It's mostly just because of his smarmy, unpleasant attitude. But oh yes, you were rude. Still leads to the barracks. It's a secure tunnel to the desolation cell where Henry is incarcerated. It's coded only to Ekiko's blood vial. Now, ooh, so that was one piece of evidence that is now actually pretty useful. Unless I could just jump out there. Already done this, so now, if that's coded to only her blood type, then we know that that means that Henry could not have used it, because Henry does not have the blood necessary to do so. In which case, she is either intentionally misremembering or just ignoring that fact, or she's guilty. But it's far more likely that she's just being an arse. Because hey, she doesn't like demons, or demon possessed, and she doesn't like this guy in general because he's a convict with a very long history of misdemeanors. Hello, Marshal.
Marshal, back in code 14.
Yes, case files. Do not. Oh, just hang out again. But a minute, Akiko. You're going to die. Humour me. Why did you become a soldier? What is this? What are you doing?
Oh, I'm glad to be back.
Trying to get to know you. Listen, Nenorcito. I'm waiting to execute this Labigale. Not have a therapy session. Oh, hey, hater. Gonna admire. Because, let's face it, she's got abs almost on par with Dr. Doomjazz, so I'm pretty into that.
Sure.
Akiko, you're the greatest soldier the Syndicate has known. What is this? Respect? You repelled the 19th sequence invasion. I just want to know about your military background. Surely that's not too much to ask. Esasta. Femei este un cosma. I butchered that and I know it. My parents died in the wars when I was 9. I was orphaned into the army of New Knight. I became a child soldier, mastering guerrilla warfare. Guerrillas. At 13, I led an insurgency through my home country, to push your lover damned Harmony out of my country. He's not my love. You were deceived by him and nearly allowed him to destroy the Syndicate. Now here I am, talking to you and wishing I was dead. Do you like killing? I'm not a murderer. I'm a soldier. Placate. I didn't say murder. Killing and murder are different. That's the first intelligent thing out of your mouth, Narcito. A soldier has a job to do. We disconnect from life and become blades. We fight to give the world meaning. The world needs conflict. What am I doing talking to you like this? Careful, Akiko, you almost opened up. Goodbye, Narcito. Oh. She can be taught. No, nothing else. Ooh, probe. Help. I need your help, Akiko. No one has anything on Lydia and Sam. Surely the head of the military keeps an eye on people? Fine, Narcito, I'm not one for gossiping. This is a time of crisis, so I'll tell you what I know.
Sure.
We? The God Justice Marshals keep up. My marshals have told me they've seen Lydia and Sam meeting in secret at the farm. Okay. It's worth investigating. Why the farm? Trebui Sate Aduni Naibi. That is your job, investigator. And there's nothing else. Okay. Well, may your night be bright, and may you reach the moon. Okay. Well.
The investigator is here.
This is where Henry started from, according to Akiko. She claims he broke free at 20. Yep, we know. Starlight can crunch the numbers. We've already done this. Distance and times don't match up. He couldn't have broken free, made the penthouse breach, all 4 holy seals, killed the council, and have got back to the penthouse entrance to be found in the time Akiko claims. Yes, well, we know that, but Henry, we know now that you couldn't have made it through the tunnel because you need a blood check, and you do not have the blood key necessary. That's hers, but she's not speaking about that, so we'll have to go and pester Lydia and Sam. The day breaks. Although so far all we know is that Sam... Come on. As much as her not Henry not having the blood key being a good point. Yeah, I know, but I was hoping that was just a convenient gameplay thing, so I'm hoping it would make a little bit more sense than that, but never mind. I need to jump up there as well. There's a crystal up there. Oh well. These bars on the prison bridge have been destroyed. I presume this is how Henry got out. The desolation cell is connected to the mainland by this bridge. There's some residue. I'll run it through Starlight. Residue sample 6.8.7, thermite 29%, barium nitrate 2%, sulfur 0.3%. Polybutadiene acrylonitrile. I don't know. No traces of unknown chemicals found. It's fine because I don't know either of them. Starlight says this is thermite. It doesn't seem to be demonic in nature. Someone may have melted through these bars. Okay, so furthermore, we know it can't be Henry, I think. I want to assume, because I actually have some faith in Henry. I still can't get through here. Oh well. Right then, so let's go find the daybreaks, because I'm pretty sure they should be around here somewhere. They're on the other side. We also need to go speak to Lady Acidjazz again. Where were we? Population. Doomjazz. I've completely forgotten all of the controllers for all this. What map was that? Yep. Then and how do I track people down again? At the end of the islands. Okay, well, that's annoying. I know there was a map for that reason. But, never mind. No, I'm still not thirsty. Seriously, where was the map? The proper map with all the character stuff on it. Ah! Kind of difficult to get through if I don't know where the map is. Oh, it was control. Starlight vision. Okay. Right. Well, we've got some more information on acid jazz. Not acid jazz. Crimson acid. Ah! Oh yeah, I can double jump now. Yeah, so we know that Lady Crimson Acid had a few things to detail with me. Hello, Crimson Acid. You're looking just as pretty today as you were last time. Don't think I've got any more Starlight upgrades yet that I can buy. Oh, it's just skins. No, already got plenty. I do have the Jazz on my mind. He's very, very attractive. Case files. Hex is missing. We need to talk, Acid. You never call me Acid. Why was Hex accusing you of stealing the key to the second Holy Seal?
You got it wrong!
Shit. This makes you a prime suspect. Spill it.
What do you mean?
I promise I didn't kill the council. I need you to know that. Get on with it. The Holy Seals are the holy grails of secret hunters. They're so locked down and under wraps. I was losing sleep each night thinking about them. I knew Hex designed the second seal, so I started talking to him. I also knew he was obsessed with me. Obsessed? More than I expected. I thought he was just horny for me. Well, can't blame him for that. But he had got it into his head that if we achieved perfection on the next island, he'd ascend to heaven. His diary called you his queen in the astral heaven. Good snooping, lady. Since I'm blessed by the gods, he coveted me as a trophy queen. Isn't that what you were already? The guy was out of his mind. You keep using the past tense. I'm not stupid. If the council got on the bad side of Killer and the person who designed part of their security is missing, he's either dead or might as well be. Did you do it? Please. Even if he was going to squeal to Montserrat? I talked him down. I strung him along in a relationship. I could persuade him to do almost anything. Except give you the secret of the second Holy Seal. There was a data key he guarded. I took it and made a copy. How did you copy it? You ask a lot of questions. Someone in Masahiro Heavy Industries owed me a favour. That favour was an hour in one of their high-end computer labs. It turned out to be a heavily encrypted digital key on a flash drive. I put the key back in his workshop, apologised profusely and did something to take his mind off it.
Investigator is here.
Did you use the key? No. I know where and how though. The obelisks on the beach, the key works on them.
Sure.
And that's the second seal secret. No, there's more, but I don't know what. Why didn't you use the key?
We're in a dark
Bad
spot.
vibes, lady. I could feel it in the air. Things were happening on the island. I mean, they have been for the past however many years, given how long we've been locked away. It still makes you a suspect, Crimson. I know. Well, at least she's honest. Tuft of hair. I found the tuft of your hair in KX's workshop. And? That puts you at the scene of a disappearance. Come on, lady. You know that doesn't prove anything. I mean, I guess. It's not like we can tell how old the hair is. But even so, regardless. Oh, bloody hell. Henry's demonic possession. What do you know about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago? Henry's possession worries me. Nothing has surfaced about it. It's either as they say, or someone is keeping it a secret. How did you get the knowledge to communicate with the gods? The library in the HQ is full of forbidden grimoires. But no, there's so much to speak to here, but I'm also very aware that half of what she says is just stuff you end up having to buy anyway. so it's not all that useful. But then it costs me my delicious crystals. Oh well, Doomjazz's motive. Why would Doomjazz kill the council? Got the cash to pay for a secret? Yep. Yep. Fine. 3? 3 crystals? He knows the original secret. Before the first island, during the Great Betrayal, Montserrat made a mistake that got Doomjazz's father killed. This was before you joined up with the Syndicate. He was our original military general, a legendary soldier. I'd always heard rumours about him before I joined the Syndicate. There weren't many humans the gods feared, but he was one of them. When the Syndicate fled to the first island, Montserrat made a stupid call to investigate a tomb that was supposed to contain a heavenly weapon. He was wrong. There was nothing there. Doomjazz's father attempted to hold off the pursuing armies during Montserrat's folly. It was too much. Our pursuers broke through and killed half the Syndicate before we got away. The incident was struck from history, but some of the existing council members know about it. Ai's Kiwami likes to talk when he's had a drink, and Doomjazz was his closest friend. He let the secret slip. Ai's Kiwami. It's one of the people on the other island, isn't it? Ai's Kiwami had some skeletons in his closet. He got found out. The next island was going to be a bad time for him. He took his own life a few years ago. Is it that rare? I hear a lot of people kill themselves on this island. Especially given how unhappy they are here.
I have a bad feeling.
It's rare for Syndicate members to take their own life. Unheard of for council members. Oh, okay, well if it's a council Syndicate member, fine. But everyone else does. A secret for another time. Lydia and Sam. Because they now have a little bit more suspicion on them.
Thank you.
I know that it will cost you.
Thank
Only
you.
one. Well, that's better. I know about their last job. What last job? Back in the day, Lydia told you that after she met Sam, they left the world of assassination for good, right? It isn't that easy. Once you're in that world, you are bound to it until you fulfill all of your duties.
I have my way.
An assassin is the most effective tool in the world. All tools have owners. In order to leave their old life behind, Lydia's former master had to do one last job.
Honey.
She had to destabilise a government in Europe. Several dead officials allowed for a regime change.
That's strange.
Why didn't she tell me this? We've been friends for millennia, literally. She's ashamed. They vowed to end the killing. Sam helped her do the job. They were in it together. It's not as romantic as the story they told everyone, is it? Always be suspicious of romantic stories, lady. Life doesn't work like that.
I don't like
Is that what council murder is? A regime change?
Cheers.
Who can say? Was it revenge? A crime of passion? A regime change? You've got some investigating to do, and I feel like I've barely done any. Wait, haven't I already gotten that one? I swear to God.
Good work.
Oh, for God's sake. Oh, okay, well, I've already done that. Henry. Is there anything else you can tell me about Henry's movements last night? Nothing more than what Akiko says. So I think everything else, more or less. Witness. Do you know why Witness would want to kill Council? Let's see your crystal, okay? I know Witness was growing to despise Montserrat.
Don't be coy.
Montserrat was tightening his grip on us all. Montserrat was giving into paranoia, worried about its precious, perfect island.
That's strange.
History was repeating. The island was shrouded in fear. We'd all grown complacent and happy in our freedoms. Montserrat had always been building towards a perfect island and a perfect syndicate. As you know, the syndicate was formed with the goal of resurrecting our gods. 24 islands in, and we weren't doing a good job.
Thank you.
Almost all of the pyramids out in the ocean still sit empty. Montserrat didn't care though. He'd decided that was step 2. Montserrat was obsessed with the island sequences. He drifted that way. Most of the syndicate are self-serving and followed. Why worry about the gods if you can get a nicer apartment? Can't blame her for that. I'd probably be thinking the same thing. Why wouldn't Witness want to go along with that? You've been gone a while. Montserrat changed. So did Witness. Witness didn't trust Montserrat at all. Has Witness been deceived by a god? Not that I'm aware of. I never had that suspicion. I think this is just some self-radicalization. He slipped further and further into worship and fear of the Astral Masters. You don't need to be deceived into being a servant when you've got a healthy dose of the end times fear in you. So Witness murders the council to put the fear of the gods into them and refocus the syndicate on our holy mission. I'm not saying that's what happened, but if you want to pin a motive on Witness, it's what I'd go with. Well, I guess that's fair. Well, I didn't like Witness to begin with because he was a little bit creepy. I'm not all that big on people who
What
do
the
the
hell?
whole zealous martyr thing anyway. How can we have end times if... Oh. Witness has become a religious nut that burns with the fire of righteousness. He has begun to proclaim that the end is coming. The syndicate are not holy enough, and more needs to be done to resurrect the gods. How can we have end times if our gods are dead or dormant? Only a handful of gods came to Earth. The rest of them are out there. Gods are self-serving morons. They've never looked out for their own kind. Take it up with Witness. I have no time for religious debates. About right. Who was the other one though? There's one more I wanted to ask about. Yuri, that was it. What about the comms blackout? Did you experience the comms blackout last night in the reality folding drive burst? Because the reality folding drive burst meant that all signals of communication were knocked out, and that meant that although he was supposed to be in contact with his driver, she says that she couldn't get hold of him for a brief period between time X and time Y, which, given the length of time, might actually have been enough to go and do something very, very sneaky. But then again, even if it was for, I think they only said it was a few minutes. Not down here, those are very rare, lady. If he's using that as an alibi, you need to be skeptical. I mean, I am. Did you see Yuri last night? Yuri handles Lydia on the last night of an island. You should speak to her. Well, I have, but I was hoping you haven't a motive for him, but oh well, Akiko's motive. Yes.
Thank you.
Good crystals, minimal imperfections.
Don't be coy.
Akiko is a soldier through and through. She's also their leader. They're the only family she's ever wanted.
We're in a dark
The Marshals
time.
aren't syndicate though, they're citizens, a security measure by Montserrat. They don't have our immortality, and they don't get moved between islands.
Sure.
That makes them expendable too. Precisely. Akiko has endured a millennia of sadness watching her troops die or get left behind. She wants them in the syndicate, get them gene therapied up and create a battalion of immortal soldiers. End her heartache. She has motioned the syndicate to try and get her marshals inducted, being refused every time. She's hurting and she's angry. That makes sense.
Strange.
What'd she get from murdering the council? She wouldn't be promoted to a position where she can change the rules and keep her marshals alive between islands. She'd used the murder to scare the new council. The untouchables became touched by the hand of death.
I'll have my way.
She could argue for increased militarization on the next island, scapegoat it on a citizen, and panic the next council into creating martial law with troops inducted into the syndicate.
Sure.
Use loyal troops rather than expendable troops. Precisely. Montserrat was always scared of immortal soldiers having dangerous thoughts and leading a coup. If Akiko did this, she proves that the threat isn't from the Marshals.
Got it.
Got any proof? Sure do. I pulled this from the Moon database. You never know when something like this will come in useful. Nice! Okay.
Glad to be back.
Motion tabled the council. Grand Marshal Akiko 14 formally requests the God of Justice Marshals are inducted into the syndicate. Motion was declined, unanimous. Lady, here's more. I haven't got proof, so I'm not charging you for what I'm about to say. Akiko falls in love with her troops. That's why she hurts so much. She has had a string of relationships throughout the islands.
Strange.
Is there someone special on this island?
I have my way.
Captain Voth. He's the highest ranking marshal under Akiko. The highest ranking marshals are chosen to guard the council during the birth of a new
What
island.
the hell?
So he was murdered last night. Looks that way. So if her lovers are dying when the island ends, her motive is to kill the council to push her agenda through, get her marshals into the syndicate and make them immortal?
The investigator
That's a pretty
is
big
here.
bet to make.
Who knows?
I agree. Something doesn't add up.
Got it.
I'm not convinced Voth died last night.
Who knows?
Don't tease, lady. That sounds like a secret. Don't secrets have costs?
Weird.
I'll refund you for our earlier transaction. Well, 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 well. I don't know, because if I'm onto something, then it's entirely possible that she could be using, or if she's the one that's doing things here, if I give her this information, then she could use it against me, and then, you know, use it to carry along her own investigation and keep it away from me, so that she knows exactly what I'm doing. And that's never a good idea. So, Now I'm going to refuse for now. I don't think it's worth the money back.
I have a bad
No dice.
feeling about
Not going to offer again. I'll keep it to myself. Besides, I'm a detective. I'm not supposed to go and share secrets or case information, am I? And I guess Carmelina's motive. You can keep the change.
Business is booming. Good work.
A pleasure doing business. Carmelina isn't allowed on the council. The Silence family were barred from ever being on the council.
Don't be coy.
You remember her father's crime, right? Romeo's fall from grace. He was deceived by cosmic deceit. Bingo. Cosmic deceit deceived him with promises of power. Standard stuff. Cosmic deceit wanted Romeo to sacrifice Crying Grudge. I love these names. Sacrifice Crying Grudge in a ritual. That would give Cosmic Deceit enough power to resurrect. Resurrecting the gods is our mission, but not at the expense of deceptions and sacrificing other gods. Romeo was stopped before he could go through with it. His punishment was execution and the rest of his family being barred from a council seat for eternity. Okay. So, motive? I'd say she killed the council. You mean how she's on the throne right now? Could she have been sure that she would have been on the new council, that the law would be overturned? It's a gamble. She's the architect of Perfect 25. If the transition to the new island goes sideways, she's a good candidate to handle it. That's not a sure thing though. Who knows what other options Judge considered? Impossible to know how they'd interpret the law. If this was her goal, I bet she was planning on bargaining with the new council and the new island, get them to overturn the ruling after delivering Perfect 25. Has Carmelina protested the ruling in the past? She submitted motions to have the ruling overturned and to get on the council. All have been denied though. Okay, so that goes against what she actually said.
I have my
Can I
way.
see those motions? Of course, pull them from the main database. Cool. Motion tabled. The council architect Carmelina formally requests to sit on the council in light for continued work and benefit of the syndicate. She acknowledges the crime of her father, but humbly asks the council to reconsider. Motion was declined. I'll give you a little extra for free. I don't know if this helps or anything though. Hit me. About 25 years ago, Carmelina went into isolation for a year. No one saw her. Any idea why? She said it was for work. She had a new project and didn't want to be disturbed. Nothing ever came of it though. We were never shown the fruits of her labour. That got anything to do with the underground thing? With the demon bunker tunnel thing? And that's my assumption anyway. You know, you get a bad feeling and it festers. Maybe I just need to say it out loud. Maybe it means something? I'll see what I find. Okay. So that's everything. That was actually good information, so yeah, Haita was right. It was a good thing I did that, because otherwise, I mean, at least now I have more suspicions to probe people with. The best kind of probing. Save.
Game saved.
So I'm hoping then that if we can get to Lydia. Where's Lydia? There she is. Can't go speak to Sam just yet. But if I can go speak to Lydia, then I can go question her about the assassination and see where that leads. Oh, meh, I'll go hang out another time. I don't need to date her yet. If I have to choose between her and Dr. Doomjazz, I know who I'm going with. But for now, let's go speak to Miss Lydia.
Lydia Daybreak.
Or Mrs. Lydia, sorry. Mrs. Daybreak, yeah. Motive! Last job. Sorry to ask this, Lydia, but I need you to tell me about the last job you did. You mean moving us to the next island? No, the regime change in Europe before the Syndicate.
Damn it,
Who the hell told you about that? Wait, it was acid, wasn't it?
come on.
What does this have to do with the council murder? The murder has all the hallmarks of a regime change.
Huh?
Oh, give me a break, LD. Me and Sammy were assassins. We did assassin... Shit. It was the last job we had to do to buy our freedom. That was a millennia ago. A different epoch. It had nothing to do with last night. Had to ask. No, you didn't. Kinda did. Just in case. What do you know about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago? Henry caused the demons to corrupt this island, LD. You seen the dead zone? It's a nightmare rift we're not allowed into. I have. I've been in there. I found stuff left behind by Witness. And possibly but Carmelina, I think. If you're looking for more answers, try in there. Well, I've already done that, so... Did you see the Grand Marshal last night? Sorry, LD, didn't see Akiko-chan. Akiko-chan, really? Have you asked her about it? Yep. Henry's movement. Is there anything else you can tell me about Henry's movements? For real, LD? You need to speak to Akiko. I have. I got nothing. Oh well. I guess I can't pull her away from her husband then. Or Bone the Skeleton. Let's go for a drive, LD. How are things with you and Sam? Oh, how are things with you and Sam? Same as it ever was. That's a good thing, by the way. We're happy together. I'm glad to hear it. Although... maybe things could be better with someone named Love. Lady Love. Maybe. Never get bored? It has been millennia. Never bored of him, but it can be tough. The islands are only so big, only so much to do. We learn to give each other space and have our own things. Helps that he runs a bar and I have my car. He can't go anywhere, and I can go everywhere. What about you? You looking to get back into the dating game? Oh yeah. It's hard when the dating pool is so small. Do a doom jazz and get some citizen hookups going on. Fresh crop on the next island. Yeah, duh. Of course I'm going to DJ's yacht again. I'm definitely considering it, to say the least. The thought did cross my mind. Sleeping with a suspect in a mass murder. That's my girl. Hey, if you want, you can just drop me off at Judge and I'll just put you down for everything. Wrap this up nice and quick. Stop you giving me a hard time permanently. I'm messing with you, LD. Exile made you grumpy. This has been fun. I'll drop you at the beach. Sure. Dang. Ah, my arm. Ooh, okay, probe. You have something you want to tell the investigator? We're tight, right, LD? I can tell you something, right? Everything's on the record, but I'll use some discretion. Me and Sammy didn't kill the council. Oh, well, I'll take your word for it then.
Come on, LD.
But we aren't happy.
Come on, LD.
We want out. The council wouldn't let us leave, though. Oh, okay. What do you mean? Me and Sammy are done with this life. These small islands, immortality, waking the gods.
Come on, LD.
I want to travel the world, the real world. Sammy wants to make whiskey with any ingredient, not just what Dead Nebula grows. But Montserrat and the council said no. Once you're in the syndicate, you're in the syndicate.
The island feels
I'm
bad.
telling you because of the other people. Because other people know and they'll spread the secret. But killing them wouldn't help us. The next leader wouldn't let us get out either.
I don't like
Still
this.
sounds like a motive, Lydia. It does. Yeah, but, well, if we can't make any real further claims on that, then what else are we going to do? So, still need to figure out what the Holy Seals is. Whose possession calls the Dead Zone. And we already found... We need to go back to the Dead Zone, but... I don't know. How many other people can I go and question now? Because there's going to be a lot more questions, but... I guess I could go over to see Dr. Doomjazz again. Where's the... Oh no, bah. I thought that was a crystal. Never mind. Okay, so Dr. Doomjazz we can go and speak to again. I'm not sure I want to try dating him just yet, but he is possibly... Now that we have his motive anyway, we know that Montserrat killed his dad. Which seems important to me, but simultaneously he seems like the kind of person who wouldn't really give a damn. because he's just too busy being himself on his yacht. But he's hot, so screw it. Just need to get over there again and find the phones. There we go. Oh, cool.
On travel unlocked.
Right. Nope, wrong one. Screw it, save anyway, just in case. Don't want it crashing. Right, and then we'll travel pick up, and we'll go straight to Dr. Doomjazz and his abs. Oh, yeah. Well, I was staring at him for a second. I thought the game had frozen. Just in time. The blood altar. Go and look at it. No, the blood altars, though. The blood altars are those things that I kept finding, aren't they? Yay. Glad I can go straight there now. A second. Oh no, what? Oh wait, I can't swim, can I? Crap. Forgot about that. I have to run a long way. Okay, right there. Ah, God, no! Stay on the thing.
Respawning.
At least I don't lose health. Right, stay on the platform, and this time we'll be fine. Absolutely fine.
Dr. Doomjazz.
Hello, sir. I am enraptured by your love dice. Besotted, enthralled.
Don't test me.
Where's this going? I understand the key to your heart is information. You desire the unknown. You desire to know about people.
You've got this wrong.
Maybe there's something I can help you with. Well, I hope so. Something you want to tell me, sir? Do you have something you want to tell the investigator? Akiko's in trouble. She's been mixing business and pleasure. The council found out. They're planning on stripping her of authority on the next island. Okay, well now we know. Captain Voth. Is this about her relationship with Captain Voth?
Why?
So you know.
Crime is repulsive.
And who told you?
You've got this
Eyes
wrong.
Kiwami, a while before he died. He gets loose-lipped after a drink. Oh, I thought it was a girl. And who told Akiko?
Fabulous.
I get loose-lipped around the women in power armor. You and me both. Thank you, Doctor. Case files. What about your motive? The death of your father. Would you kill the council for revenge for the death of your father? You've got some guts coming onto my yacht flinging bullshit like that around. Oh, wow, I've never seen him angry before. Scary. Just doing my job, Doc.
Bad.
I'm not a killer. Never have been, never will be. Regardless of what happened to my father. Well, okay, well that was short and sweet, although you'll excuse me if I can't take you at your word. The Grand Marshal last night. You see it? I saw Akiko after the murder when I examined Henry. Can't help you with anything before that, Love Dice. Have you spoken to Akiko? Yep. Only know about the thing, blah blah blah. Yep. And, okay, Henry's possession. What do you know about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago? Don't know what to tell you, Love Dice. He's clearly possessed and I wasn't at his arrest 10 years ago.
How?
If you think there is something suspicious, try the crime scene. His apartment in the dead zone. Well, I already checked that, but there wasn't anything there. I guess I didn't think so. Not that I couldn't find. Oh well. Got a sec, Doc? Back for more real talk? Hit me.
It's been wonderful to see
Nothing
you again.
lasts forever, except the certainty of change. Quoting philosophy now? Please. Some song and a skate punk compilation. Skate punk? You? I never thought you'd be into that. One of the citizens we abducted from the real world had it with him. I have no idea what sludgecore is. It sounds interesting. So what else you into? Sludgecore? Whatever I can get my hands on. This kid had quite the CD collection on him. Full Knuckle, Crackdown, Sound Year. You'd think a mass of oppressed citizens would mean there was more punk music on the island.
Don't test me.
Not allowing them access to instruments or any real means of creativity probably hinders that. Why do you think there are so many murders in the apartments?
The island is about to
Montserrat always said you couldn't build pyramids without slaves. We've got enough pyramids. I agree. Catch you later, Doc. Huh. I guess he's not going to share anything new with me. Bah. I was hoping I'd get more information out of him, but oh well. Don't know. I don't know who to go with. I mean, we don't really need to go back to Akiko, but I would like to speak to.
Is
Back door
this
the franchises.
don't
Already know.
test me.
Yeah, so I would like to go and speak to Yuri again, because he was the next suspicious person on the way. But even then, yeah, he just seems too obvious. He does now, anyway, now that I've thought about it. Because he was the one who started off as a little whiny bitch baby until he ended up being blessed by the gods, and that usually means bad things for everyone involved. It also means he is a traitor, or something along those lines. No. Nope. So if that is the case, then he's the most likely to have yeah, screw it. A silent goat walk with me. Okay. Yeah, so he to me had the most sort of reason to be doing bad things. But said bad things are too obvious. There you are.
Yuri nodded.
Because he's just, well, if they say he was a bitch baby and now he's an aggressive just jerk, generally, he was always a jerk, but now if he's a big buff jerk. Hi Ollie, how you doing? Case files. Hex is missing. Missing ring. I heard you're missing a ring, Yuri. Of what interest is that to you? I hope work's going okay for you. Is it this one? The ornate ring. Give me that.
When love dies.
Well, thanks for
all that
stopping by.
remains are the
Appreciate it. Yeah, it's because for some reason they're much more sensitive today, so I'm like resting my hand on my head whilst reading. But because of the way the camera's set up, it's impolite to snatch. You want to tell me what it's doing in the fist of Kehex's dead body? I have no idea. He made it for me, and I lost it. Someone probably found it and gave it to him, recognizing his work.
Sure.
Probably. I'm not slouching, I'm leaning. I'm leaning on my arm. Probably. Anything else you want to tell me?
No.
I don't know anything else, freak. Okay. I didn't see her, and you didn't see him either, so nope.
Know me?
Nope. Okay. We'll hang out anyway. Maybe I can piss you off. You look like the kind of person that likes wine, or to wine.
Slide with me.
I do. A refined drink. I am able to enjoy expensive wine. Better wine. Expensive doesn't mean better. Seriously, half the time, my posture is not terrible. I hope it keeps going easy. And, okay, that time my arm was just being sensitive. But yeah, take care. And have a good rest of your day at work. More expensive doesn't mean better. Less popular grapes can give high quality at an affordable price. She's not wrong, and I often find that the same or different wines taste exactly the same regardless of the price. Same for whiskey, actually. I can't tell the difference between high-class whiskey and low-class whiskey, so, nah. More expensive doesn't mean better, blah blah blah. I don't think that's true, freak. It helps that I have access to older wines, always a sign of quality. Not always true. Most wines are made to be consumed within their first 1 to 5 years. Trust me, freak, older is better. You're clearly not very experienced with wine. Not everyone can appreciate wine. It isn't something for novices or the lower class. Says a bitch, baby. Nonsense. I don't think you know what you're talking about. The lower class are often jealous of those with more refined tastes. Goodbye, freak. Goodbye, Yuri. Yeah, no kidding. Dude has his head so far up his arse. You see through a million arses, you son of a bitch. Yeah, so I think it's way too easy to just say that he's the bad guy because... Ooh, have you found my stone? I thought I had. Oh well. Benches between the citizen and syndicate apartments. Yeah, so it's way too easy for it to be him because he had that... Everyone's saying that he transformed and became buff and stopped being a little whiny brat. And now he's just a guy that likes to pretend he knows anything about wine. And likes to pretend that he's upper class. Ooh. Damned carving. Escaped to the cosmos as his mountain fortress was besieged in Bosnia. The alabaster citadel was demolished around him as he finished the ritual to escape. He drifted for millennia before latching onto a comet at the outer reaches of our solar system. He drifted again, missing the formation of the Syndicate until the comet drifted closer to Earth. He learned of the Syndicate and deceived Lady Lovedeyes. Ah, so that's about the guy that she was sent to the... What was it called? Crap, what was it called? Timeout, basically. She was sent to a long million-year timeout. And in which case, it just means that... Aha! There you are. For some reason I thought she was in a tunnel. I didn't realise she was on... Oh, wait.
Halt! What do you want, freak?
Let me in.
Are you still...
Yes, we're still
I
investigating.
have a bad feeling about this.
Honestly. Can't get good help anywhere these days. Case files. What about your motive? What can you tell me about your self-imposed isolation 25 years ago?
Do your job.
I have no idea why something I did 25 years ago is any of your concern. What were you doing? You said it was for a project, but no one has ever seen what came of it. What I choose to do is nothing you need to concern yourself with. No, I'm pretty sure as the investigator, it's my job to know what it is you're doing. Otherwise you could be the one that's in trouble here.
Sure.
Are you sure you were with Witness all night?
We have a
That's a
secret
kind of a dumb
file.
question. And you didn't leave him for a moment?
Investigate.
Do you have something you wish to ask, investigator?
Finders
What about when Akiko called him? Didn't he leave the room? He did leave the room to take the call on his balcony. People leave the room for other reasons as well. So,
Do your job.
do you wish for me to recall each time either of us went to the bathroom? Yeah. All the music in this is just a bop. Period. Most of it anyway. There's some synth I really like especially. Did Witness look like he was in pain when the council were murdered?
I have no idea.
You know about his illness? Witness suffers greatly whenever someone dies on these islands, be they citizen or syndicate member. Last night he doubled over in pain, breathless in agony. He suffers so much when there is a death. How was Witness? Anything strange?
This is nonsense.
He wasn't happy I was there. He seemed agitated. Okay.
Nanny, the hell?
How did this behaviour manifest? His mask lets you see more than he thinks it does. Surprise, confusion, worry.
The investigator is here.
Do you think he was involved in the murder? That's not for me to say. I'm just trying to be helpful. You're failing miserably. So the comms blackout, I don't think there would be much to do with her. Although, if there was a reality comms blackout, then it would have disrupted Witness's phone call. So therefore, I'll look forward to it then. Yuri claims that the reality folding drive caused a comms blackout last night. Is that something that can happen with the reality folding drive? Ah! Both hands.
What?
Why are you asking me? The drive is operated by Masahiro Heavy Industries, but none of their representatives are left on Paradise. You're the architect, so I thought you might know something. I can't help you with the specifics, but there have been instances of the drive causing blackouts at the end of an island.
The
But we know that.
investigator is here.
Did you experience it last night? No, they are localised though, so that isn't to say it didn't happen. The drive performs a burst to power each island. It throws a lot of radiation and particles out into the air. If Yuri was in a patch of radiation, it would have caused the blackout temporarily.
I don't like this.
Do you think it's convenient that it happened around the time of the murder?
How dare you?
Do you? That's what I'm trying to work out. Yuri is a loyal member of the syndicate. You'd do well to focus on the real suspect instead. Well, I mean, if you want to help him, if you want to be the one that's collaborating with him, that would make more sense and would also make things a lot more easy to accuse, but
Craft is its own
I was with
reward.
Witness, he got a call from Akiko. Used to ask him, yep. Team Jazz,
We have achieved
Doctor, I didn't. Crisis
perfection.
meeting said it was at this clinic. Henry,
How
Nope.
dare you?
and demonic possession. What about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago? I'm not sure what help I can be. Henry was possessed and allowed demons onto our island. My hard work was destroyed. The dead zone is a reminder of his crime. Okay, so I will have to go back to see the dead zone, because there's obviously something that I missed there. But I guess I needed to have more information to be able to use it. Otherwise, I was just kind of glossing over everything without properly examining things. But that room at the end of it was still what bothered me. With all the equipment in that I couldn't actually get anything out of. So now I'm pretty sure that, well, I think we saw that it had witnesses on it, didn't we? Something to do with Witness and Akiko. Was it Witness and Akiko, or was it Witness and Carmelina? Oh, it was one of the two. And also Sam was keeping whiskey down in the fridge there. Can I ask you something, Architect? How can I help, Lady Loved Eyes?
Got it.
This island has an air of quietude.
Craft is its own
Indeed
reward.
it does. There is a balance here. Where does the balance come from? Positioning a function creates form. The functions of the island are arranged as a diamond on a compass. Everything has a place only it can have. I am wondering about the style, because it's not exactly one I would choose. You place function over form.
Do your job.
It is a folly to prioritise form over function. Without function, a design is worthless. She's correct. An architect that is scared of function and tries to hide it away is a coward with narrow tastes. Meaning? How do you mean? It is not happenstance that I choose to expose the workings of the island. For example, electricity meters on the sides of buildings are not hidden in a more form-fitting hatch or closet. They are exposed and allow us to appreciate their function. If we can find function visual appealing, we have grown.
We have achieved perfection.
The circumstances you find yourself in are of course terrible, but I do hope you'll enjoy your time exploring this island. Excuse me. Stupid phone. Thank you for your time, Architect.
I have no idea what
Investigator, can we discuss something? Yes! Give us that probe. Do love getting probes. And yes, I know what I said. Do you have something you want to tell the investigator?
I beg your pardon.
I don't know if this is relevant, but I will disclose it. At midnight, Witness was fiddling with his phone.
Sure.
Did you see what he was doing? Take care, Hater. Thanks for stopping by. Did you see what he was doing? I didn't.
Got it.
Midnight was when the council were murdered. We were in the middle of a conversation. He abruptly took out his phone and started using it. He was tapping at it for a few seconds. Will you stop that? Did he stop out of the room? No. Why do you ask? That means he wasn't making a call. Or if he was, it wasn't one that he answered.
Sure.
Did he say what it was about? No. He acted like nothing happened. Huh.
I'm glad to be back.
Thank you, Architect. Okay. So, Witness is now the next good person to speak to. Because we don't need to speak to Sam, because Sam and Lydia, I guess, would have the same kind of... Oh yeah, Montserrat. Because Lydia and Sam would have similar reasoning, I would think. because they're the married couple and they. Yeah, I think Sam was in the car with Lydia at the time, so it wouldn't really be anything that's, you know, I don't think that they would be able to do anything together. What's this? Ooh, wait, do I get to... Ooh, okay. I haven't seen this yet. Terminal vault. Terminal shows the records of who accessed the library vault. This vault includes rare or forbidden books, mostly from the Great Betrayal and prehistory, or from dreadful cultures on terrifying planets. The most dangerous books here are grimoires on demonology. The harrowing tome Dressed in Red is a particularly dangerous and forbidden text. According to the records, a number of people accessed the vault over the course of the island, but the name that stands out is Yuri Knight. What was he doing in the vault? He accessed it several times, but it was mostly about 10 years ago. Ah! Around the same time that Henry was possessed. Perfect. A handwritten book about Crying Grudge. The god was captured by the Persian army during the Great Betrayal. The near-dead god was paraded around the country and displayed above the palace in Shushatra Zero. The tears of the god fertilized the ground and the city became a sea of lilies. The syndicate rescued Crying Grudge and burned the city to the ground. The weakened god slumbers in a holy pyramid on each island, slowly regaining his strength. Is that what the pyramids are? Huh. Chronicle of the Silent Goat, a tome detailing the first god to speak to us, Silent Goat. That's ironic. Known as the Holy Catalyst or the First. During the Great Betrayal, he was captured outside Mahoda Ending in India and tortured in the Crystal Caves. He gifted the Syndicate to his dying power, allowing us to start the island sequences. Okay, well that's good and useful info, because now the Syndicate Library, all history recorded, especially the parts struck from the history of the real world. Henry's possession a decade ago is worth looking into. It's not unusual for a citizen to try communing with the gods, but if someone wanted a scapegoat, there are books in here that would help. The restricted vault contains ancient texts, forbidden grimoires, and harrowing cosmic secrets. Some of those forbidden grimoires deal in demonology, performing rituals and summonings. All the good stuff for a curious mind looking to break the law. The library records show that Yuri accessed the restricted vault multiple times over the years. Well, none of the dates Yuri accessed the restricted vault stand out except for a cluster of visits a decade ago. Henry caused the demonic invasion a decade ago by performing an illegal ritual. Did he get the ritual from one of these tomes? Henry said that Stranger gave him books on demonology. Is that a coincidence, or was Yuri up to no good? Well, yes, so that actually gives me more fuel to go after Yuri, because, I mean, I still think he's too obvious. It's too obvious, surely, because just... Like I said, the jerk, the guy who suspiciously buffed up overnight, the guy who's just a complete arrogant jerk and wants more power on the council and blah 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 blah. It's just too easy. It's way too easy. But, like any good investigator, I'm going to still question him. So I like the music. Case files. Henry's demonic possession. Library visits. Have you ever visited the library vaults? From time to time. Don't be coy.
Test me.
I expected better answers than that. I don't know why you're asking. I'm chasing some leads. That vault contains forbidden texts about demonology. A demon is purported to have possessed a citizen and murdered the council. It also contains other books. I'm the architect's secretary. She occasionally requires records and texts for her work. So you didn't take books on demonology? Do the words demonology and architecture sound the same to you, freak? No, I guess not. I guess that would have been too easy too. Oh wait, I need to hang out with him again. Spoiled jerk. Come on, hurry up. Got time to chat? Can we make this the last time, freak? Have you ever been in love, Yuri? Love doesn't offer anything. Love constrains ambition. It blinds you to your goal. You can learn about others, like the way I'm doing now about you, and learning that you have multiple layers of jerk. Love can make you understand more about yourself and others. I understand myself and others just fine. Some of us are rulers, and the rest are meant to be ruled. The world is very simple, freak. You people confuse yourselves with love and affection. It dulls your senses and stops you from achieving excellence.
I don't like this.
If you open your heart, you open your mind. That's a bit cliche. Goodbye, freak. Goodbye, Yuri. Oh. Really? Max level? Hang out? Really? And we didn't gain anything from it. I thought we'd at least get another nugget of info. It's a snippet. Or something very tiny. Something worth exploring. But unfortunately, all we've got is more stuff for witness. So, fine. I'll have to go witness. So I'm not running all the way up there. Witness is very squeamish. Crap. Oh, I could go to the dead zone again and do that exploration. Should remember where it was. Say syndicate apartments, but I think I'm already at the syndicate apartments. So, I guess I've spent a crystal, but never mind. Where are you? Where are you? Where are you? That's judgment. Seriously, where is he? Over here? No, that's Henry, I think. Yeah. Oh, there he is. Bloody hell. Okay, I was right below him. Never mind. That works. Thank goodness for that. No more running. Had no idea he was so high up. I'm also down to 2 crystals. Ugh. Need more crystals. Crystals are way more important than I thought they would be. Especially given all the travel time in this game. Hello, witness. Case files. But your motive. Conflict with Montserrat. Why are we butting heads with Montserrat so much? What does that have to do with anything?
I need to investigate this.
I need to know why someone was clashing with a murder victim. Our leader was not following the holy mission. His focus was on the island sequences and not the gods. We'll go a little bit to the left rather than just heading straight on. Sounds like he was straying from the path. Yes, I'm glad you understand. Our first priority is to prostrate ourselves before the gods, not build ourselves a nice home. If our islands fail, that is the will of the gods. If we trust in them, we will be saved.
I don't like
Did that
this.
make you angry enough to kill? Well, that was a bit more direct. I know you must ask these questions, but it pains me to hear you question my loyalty and faith.
Paradise feels
You voted against every proposal he put forward, didn't you? That is the point of our democratic meetings. We all have a say on the direction of the syndicate. His direction veered away from our holy mission. I voiced my disagreement with it. What kind of proposals were they? Advancement towards the so-called perfect 25. I don't care about our new home being perfect if the gods are not there to celebrate with us. Eek. Look out to the ocean of madness. So many pyramids sit empty. 24 island sequences and we only have 1 pyramid resident. We are capable of so much more.
why?
Why haven't we done more? Montserrat had other plans. Grand resurrections could wait until the island sequences were solved. What is the point of perfect 25 if the gods remain in pain? I wanted to remind Montserrat of the Syndicate's purpose, so I voted against everything he and the rest of the council put forward.
The facts and the
Did you
truth
remind him
are
with a
not the
knife
same.
by any chance? Ooh, that was even more direct. Almost as direct as the stabbing people got yesterday. Absolutely not. Your alibi. Carmelina. Why were you so irritated to see Carmelina? Is that what she told you? I was surprised. It is unlike her to do a social call. Are you
need to
suspicious
investigate
of her? Are you? People do things that are out of character. Phone at midnight. What were you doing with your phone at midnight? I wasn't doing anything with it. I was talking with the architect.
Sure.
The architect told me you interrupted your conversation to do something with your phone. Everyone fiddles with their phone.
I
and
have
he's
a
not
bad
wrong.
feeling about
Not
this.
everyone does it at the exact moment the council were murdered.
Who?
Who were you calling? I didn't call anyone.
That's strange.
Then what were you doing? Absolutely nothing. If I did do something, I don't remember. It was completely inconsequential. So you claim. We'll see about that. This is all the stuff that we already know. Blah blah blah. Curse of us all. His possession 10 years ago condemned the islands. Nothing else to know. Dead zone's a reminder. Henry's movements. For the background marshal. Peyruis. Did you experience a comms blackout last night from the reality folding drive burst? I didn't. When they have occurred before, they've always been hard to pinpoint. They don't affect the whole island. Okay. See, that was what I was thinking. Because I was going to use that as proof that, well, if Yuri and he were interacting, then there couldn't have been a blackout. And one of them was saying there was blackout, the other one was saying there wasn't. Or at least not in their area. And in which case, that would have been far easier. Akiko's call. Akiko said she called you at the time of the murder. She did, but something is troubling me about it. I'm seeking guidance from those in the stars about how to proceed. If I say anything, it may be misconstrued. The gods. Not communing with the gods, are you? If you are righteous and look deep within yourself, their teachings evident. You should try it. The marshal. I spoke to her when she reported Henry's escape, but I didn't see her until the crisis meeting after the killer had been arrested. Okay. Well, that was less helpful than I was expecting it to be honest. But let's hang out with him because I'm sure one guy in a skull mask would be good for a few laughs. I must warn you that I'm not one for long conversations.
Oh, I'm glad to be back.
How are your plants, witness? They do well in the climate of paradise. When the world is coming apart, it is good to have a hobby. Would you like one? I like to give them to people. They are difficult to care for. They are a test sent from the gods. If we fail to look after them, they will die. If they all die, then we'll die. The plants need our time and devotion. So do our gods. I'll accept it. Maddening rare plant obtained. This plant has been freshly fertilized and watered. It comes from an esoteric plateau from my home in Iran. It will survive for a while without constant attention. Once you finish your investigation, it will provide something to focus on. Thank you, witness. Huh. I am enjoying our conversations, Lady Loved Eyes. There is a sensitive matter to which we could discuss further. Yes! Also, I'm concerned now. Maddening rare plant. That seems pretty important, given his delicate nature. Something you want to tell me?
Investigator is here.
It's about Akiko's phone call after Henry escaped. I can see you are working hard, Loved Eyes, so I will tell you this. I worry that you are doing this for yourself and not the gods, but I am bound to help you. It is their wish. Akiko was supposed to be at Desolation Cell, yet I couldn't hear the haunting sounds of that island, nor the sea that surrounds it. Aha!
That's weird.
What does that mean? Everything? Nothing? You need to work that out. The gods wish you to know, so now you know. Okay. So we know now. I mean, this is all just going to keep continuing and circling back round. But so it means that Akiko was saying that she was having a phone call with Witness, but Witness is now saying that wherever she was, it was not at the island where Henry is held. Because if it was, then he would have heard the sounds coming from around her, coming from the island itself. And she claims that she had been knocked out and was standing with Henry at the time. And then when she woke up, it was just her on the island by herself, and he was all the way on the other side of the island killing people, which didn't make sense within the timeline, because there was no way that he would have had enough time to do that. So now, we'll speak to Akiko again. I think she's the only person that I really need to speak to at the moment. I mean, aside from aside from Crimson Acid, but yoo-hoo! It's a long drop. Ooh, more crystal. Oh, there's another tick thing down there too. Right. I can just. Oh no, I can't. I don't think I can get up. Ooh, wait, oh, jump. Yes. So crystal. Come on, come on. Careful, careful. Yes. Cool. And then tape. Broadcast music. Tape. Good. Now we get to jam out a little bit more. Yeah, it's okay, I guess. Eh. I've heard better, but... Oh, right. Cool. I keep forgetting that those things, power switches actually do things. Okay, so... Akiko. To run over to her, because... the quick travel system in this game is a little bit balked. I'm not a big fan, but... Oh, I forgot about crystal down here as well. Nice. Also, yeah, given the amount of things that we're now having to spend blood crystals on, including other upgrades and more quick save points. I don't know if I'll need more quick save points after this. I don't know how many more there are on the island. But regardless, we've at least come across enough of them. I think we can get around without too much issue. But I'll still need to buy things, like extra upgrades to Starlight. There's so much weird terminology in this that if you just started saying it out loud, you'd just get called crazy. I went to speak to Dr. Doomjazz. Starlight gave me his blood vial info. What? After Henry's demonic possession. Hello. She's numbered. What about your motive? Induction marshals. You've been asking for the marshals to be inducted, haven't you? It's a reasonable request. We guard these islands. But you've been denied. What if there was an incident that prompted the council to reconsider? The crime to end all crimes on the eve of Perfect 25, for example. I admire you, Nanorosito. You believe so fully in all of these sorts of little stories and fantasies. It must be nice being so credulous, undaunted by the world. Is that a denial, then? Of course. Provoke. Gotta get all up in your business about who you've been dicking. Does your relationship with Captain Voth have anything to do with this?
Lenorachito, you're out of your mind.
The investigator is here.
An illicit relationship that got found out would be punishable. Oh, you don't like this, do you? I'll kill you.
Don't test me.
Careful. You were found out. You were going to be punished next island for your relationships with the marshals. That gives you a clear motive. Kill the council to protect yourself.
I'll kill you.
Got it.
Which means you are full of shit. You don't know anything. I live by the rules. I am a woman of honor. We'll see about that. Oh, and they spell honor with a U. So they're an English dev. I think. You and Voth. Tell me about you and Voth. Captain Voth.
Kill you.
My God, don't you dare speak about my marshals without proper rank.
Is this a fact?
You were in a relationship with him. Relationships between myself and the marshals is expressly forbidden. Doesn't mean it didn't happen.
I'll put your head on
Watch
a
yourself,
spike.
Nanorosito. A lot of murder has happened on this island. Would anyone notice some Pizda investigator going missing? Well, how did the bars of the prison bridge get broken? This is what I was wondering. Henry broke through them. Did he? Really? What if he didn't? Rat.
Got it.
Starlight's analysis of the residue on the bars says that it was explosives. Starlight is wrong. Your little machine is trying to analyse something demonic and doing the best it can. Oh dear. Well, that wasn't. Imagine if that just worked on any sort of police investigator evidence. It's just, well, we found traces of your blood on this thing. It's like, well, it's wrong. Your computer is wrong. Too bad. It's like it's not a good defense at the best of times. Got a minute, Akiko? You're going to die. Humor me.
Ooh,
Do you do anything outside of soldiering? Why are you so interested to know? We're all part of the syndicate. I'm trying to establish a friendship.
Check.
Why would I want to have a friendship with a Dobiticule like you? This is how friendships work. See, when when two adults or two kids love each other enough to the point that they want to shake hands and be friends, then that's what happens. Friends and relationships expand our worldview. They can also provide comfort and support.
Nenorachito.
Ah,
Just tell me something about yourself. Do you have a pet?
Pull up.
A pet? Fine. 2 goldfish. Really? I wasn't expecting her to be a goldfish person. There we go. We're getting somewhere. Que es Doreros? Why? Yeah, why? I want to know. Why goldfish? Why not?
that's
What drew you to fish? Did you have them as a kid?
Soldier.
In the barracks, just after I was taken in by New Light Army. I looked after them while I adjusted to military life.
the investigator.
You miss
is
those
here.
days? War is no place for children, Prost. I did what I had to. What about...
Do you want to
That's
die?
it. I'm done. No more. Goodbye, Nenorosito. Is that max rank?
You're trying to find your
Nenorosito.
Sure.
Is there something else, Akiko? No, it's nothing. Oh. Oh, wait. Yes. Akiko, it seemed like you had something you wanted to say
You
earlier.
need to back off.
It was nothing, Nenorosito.
I have a bad feeling about
Spit it out. We're
this.
both busy. Do you know something about someone on the island?
Aha.
Fine. It's about Crimson.
What the hell?
What about her? She came to me in secret to ask about becoming a marshal. Ooh, really?
Turpa.
I don't give this information up lightly, Nenorosito.
Soldiers.
She used to be a fine soldier. She was blessed by the gods for her role in repelling the 19th island invasion. I'm the only syndicate member allowed to be a marshal. There was nothing I could do for her.
What the hell?
Why are you telling me this? Henry is your only suspect.
Nenorachito.
Henry did it, Nenorosito. No doubt. I'm just telling you that there may be someone that would benefit from him doing it. Yeah, you don't. Oh, I'll look into it. Thank you, Akiko. It's probably not a good idea to further agitate the witness. Though, have you got anything new to say? No, you don't. Okay. Okay, so Lady Asjaz is a good topic to go back to. Sam, I still need to go revisit because Sam is. Well, then again, all we know about Sam is that he had another assassination, that he performed another assassination. That doesn't really mean anything per se. It just means that he took part in a job that he'd been doing for a while. I don't think it would make sense for him to... But then again, of course, that's what it wants you to think. It could be lulling me into a false sense of security, or into a... It could be just swaying me to that belief because he seems so chill. Kind of like Doom Jazz. But Doom Jazz is a... Well, okay, I was going to say Doom Jazz is a doctor, so he would know how to kill people, but of course... Oh, shit. But of course... Oh, hey, Tara. How you doing? Hello. Yeah, and it's not a... Well, technically it's a permanent model, but I'm getting it edited and getting it retextured and stuff, so it should look a little bit more like me. Proper me, anyway. I'm hoping. I'm going to get a jacket and get all the colours changed, and what was the other stuff I was going to get done? Open this up. You get the colours changed, get the... well, you can't see it at the moment, but if I ever do VR with it, then The tail's going to be drawn in a bit. The ears are going to get rounded. So I'm just hoping all the textures work out properly. I'm getting the fur removed from the ears as well, probably. Maybe. Although I kind of like it. So maybe I'll keep it. Anyway, how are you doing? No. Going to fast travel yet. Oh, Doom Jazz is active again. But I'll tell you what, I'm closest to Scarlet Acid. So I'm going to go catch up with her because now I know that she might have benefited from this in the same way that Akiko might have. It might be worth looking into. And I'll just grab this. Yay, Glistening Stone. Okay, so that's what that guy wanted. So I'll go give this in first because he's right there. I think. Where was he? I just... Oh, there he is. Okay, yeah. Okay, so yeah, I'll hand this in because he's been pestering me about the stone for ages. Let's see what I get. Found my stone? Yes. I think I have. Yay, Listening Stone.
Really? Can I see? Oh yes, that's it. I can't describe how this makes me feel. It's like we're together again. Please, you keep it. I can feel myself fading out of this world and I can't take the stone with me. When you hold it, I hope you can find the happiness that it gave me.
Yo! Couldn't help spying on you. What do you want? You like that stone the spirit gave you? I don't really care, to be honest. Gems aren't my thing. Fantastic! Want to sell it? Why do you want it? Gems that are tied to the suffering of others are one of my collections.
That's weird.
One of? Oh yeah, I also collect antiques from a planet populated by slug scholars. Also got a cabinet of calcified entrails Peyruis from the mad monks of the Venus labyrinths. So, want to sell? 2 blood crystals, one-time offer. Ah, bad arm. Calm down. I don't know. I don't know how important these items are, generally. I don't know. I doubt that selling one would make me lose it. Or selling one would make me, like, lose the game. But... I don't like making these decisions. I mean, to say about it? It just said, small bright stone looking makes world around you fade away and you can hear distant memories imprinted on the stone by the wearer. This one is full of happiness. Do I want to sell a happy stone? It's not really tied to the suffering of others, is it? So therefore, maybe it would be worth keeping anyway. I think I'm going to decline. I think I'll hang on to it. Shame. I suppose I'm going to die with this island soon, so no biggie. Don't stress it, loved eyes. I just wanted a little bit of happiness before the harrowing embrace of oblivion. I forgot that he still his arms pumped up in the air like that. Anyway, so that's done. Now I'm going to go speak to Scarlet Acid. Hey! Ah! Ah! Ooh! Oh yeah! No! There was no control over. There is no control over the jumping. It's just very, very whatever direction you are going in. I'm not used to that in games. So few games actually let you actually take control away when you jump in midair. Oh yeah, so Acid Jazz, you're over here. Gotcha. Ah! Nope. Oof, okay. Ah! I could just do acrobatics around here and just leap left and right until I get to it, but never mind. Right, Acid Jazz. I've got some information about you that I think would be worth discussing. Because now you're even more of a suspect. This is Alibi. Witness last night. Did you see Witness last night? I heard Carmelina went. Why do you keep asking this stuff? I told you Akiko must be pretty upset. You haven't heard anything strange about the marshals on that night. Oh wait, so already told you the guards, one of the guards was Voth, Akiko's lover, but we doubt that because they weren't the same guards. The blood that was found did not belong to the guards. Or rather, they weren't the guards that we were looking for. So, I doubt that. So does that mean that Voth is one of the guards that, or one of the people behind this? You haven't heard about anything strange about the marshals on the night? Things take a little while to flow downstream. No need to wait for loose lips. Okay, well, I'm on that then. At least I'm ahead of that. Ahead of her on that. Did you see the Grand Marshal last night? I didn't see Akiko last night. Already have. Carmelina. Architect. Yep. Daybreak's alibi. Lydia should have been doing ferrywoman duties. Log at the gates. Ooh, okay. So log at the gates I can actually go and check. Got time for a chat, Crimson? What are you planning to do with your amassed wealth? If trade is good, you're carrying a lot of blood crystals. A quiet life. That's why I'm down here, away from the tower. Not the greatest fan of people.
Thank you.
Having a big chunk of change allows you to live your life in peace. You're still an idol. You still have your job to do.
Don't be coy.
We all have our crosses to bear. Have you tried that new beer on the can of? It's good.
Investigator is
Not yet.
here.
Is it worth it?
Secrets breed
You think I'd put a name to any old piss water? There's a competition to win a date with me, with a winning ring pull. Anyone win?
Thank you.
I'll let you into a little secret. There are no winning ring pulls. I know certain things about the Dead Nebula Company. I told the CEO that I know these things and she made the winning ring pull disappear. I'm not a prize to be passed around. Respect. I dread to think what your file on me looks like.
Thank you.
I know all sorts, but there's always more to learn. Learn about me? Please. Please, sexy goat lady. Maybe you can learn one day, and learn about more about me one day. Don't be a tease. He's seeing you, lady. Aw, I was hoping for a little bit more than that, but never mind then. Okay. You journey the endless, and then you reach the moon. Damn. I was hoping things might continue a bit there. But, oh well. Fine. Case files. So... Councilmember Eyes Kiwami told Doomjazz that the council intend to strip Akiko of the authority on Next Island. They discovered her illicit affairs with her marshals. Doomjazz told Akiko that Akiko killed to protect herself. So... Okay. So we know that Doomjazz and Akiko are possibly involved. Or at least might have collabed together, but that's just a far-out assumption. Akiko is devoted to her troops. The Marshal is not part of the syndicate and perish at the end of Ivory Island. Akiko is consumed by perpetual grief. As her awake, she can end the cycle and get her troops to move between islands. Despite phone records, refuses to give them. Akiko phoned him for 5 minutes, so all that we really know is that she called him, but she won't give up the phone, so what is there to defend against? Witness doesn't take phone calls around other people. When he received a call last night, he stopped out on his balcony. This leaves a period of 5 minutes when no one can account for Carmelina's movements. Well, I'm going to assume that 5 minutes is not going to be enough to go and kill someone, so that seems a little bit pointless. Carmelina is being punished for her family's father's crimes, so we know that she wants to be on the council but can't, and has testified multiple times to get them to let her on the council. Lydia told me that Carmelina is a genius. 25th Island will be pointless. No evidence for any of these guys, because Henry is the only one so far of becoming omnipotent. What? Henry says that he was agitated before the escape. He could feel the demon inside him writhing. It partially woke him up with sedation. What caused this? Henry would need a massive adrenaline spike, so if someone had approached, found with the murder weapon, but we know that Akiko's murder weapon was the only one that was actually sharp enough Or no, her knife would have been too sharp. Whereas the knives that we used to cut into their throats were jagged. So it couldn't have been that. I mean, it's more likely she was lying about it, but you know. Okay. So, who still needs to be conversed with? Doom Jazz needs to be spoken to, and Sam Daybreak needs to be spoken to again. So, let's speak to Sam because I can just jump down from the top of wherever it is he's going, and I can go and check back in at the dead zone. But maybe I should do that afterwards. So if I do that too, then again, there's stuff from Henry that we can go and use. We also need to go and check the gates because the gates have info that I can use. Yeah, we'll check the dead zone because... Oh, activate terminal. Oh, okay, so we've got 3 terminals in each area. I see. Never mind then. Screw it back to Doom Jazz. And from there, I'll run up to see Sam. Because Sam is the one person I haven't spoken to in ages. And he's the only one that really might have any more information that regards Lydia. Ah! God damn it! Every time I end up going for a swim. Okay. Hello, Dr. Doom Jazz. I'm here to hang out again, if you know what I mean. What's up, loved eyes? Henry's escape. Akiko thinks the demon tricked the inhibitors, and that's how Henry escaped. It's certainly a theory. Is it a good one? There's no proof. I can't say anything without proof. We've never encountered this phenomenon before, but every race of demons is different. It's worth considering, but you need to try and find proof before relying on a theory. I'll keep that in mind. Okay, well that was less informative than I thought. We'll hang out anyway. Can you feel it in the air? You've been spraying pheromones again.
The island is about to end.
This may be the last time we get to talk before you and Judge determine who's guilty. Well, stop wasting time then. We better not waste any more time. Lady, stop talking. Yes! Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. Well, for a second, I'd had to pull up a... Oh, well. Is he usually wearing stuff that is that low cut? Don't. You were never any good at the conversation afterwards.
Fabulous.
Take this, but save it until you're off duty. Flamboyant wine. Seems about right. Maybe I'll see you on the next island.
My favourite
I hope so.
investigator.
Nice. Okay, and that's the rich and full-bodied, good mouthfeel lingers on the tongue. See, that doesn't seem like an expensive wine either. So I'm willing to bet that's not one that Yuri would enjoy. Him and his stupid ego. Although I would totally share it with him and see what he says and see if I can fool him into thinking it was a good and expensive wine. Okay. Go the other way. Okay. Yeah, so that was less informative than I was hoping, but at least I've managed to now do things with Dr. Doom Jazz for all the good that was. I was expecting there to be more, to be honest. Like a proper date or something like that. But never mind. I guess I won't be able to speak to him again now unless I actually need to go back to him about any more evidence. But... oh hey, but Sam was close to the dead zone. Because his actual backyard is right where they're... right in his backyard, where he was storing booze, is a like a cellar thing, like a cellar door, like a trap door, and that leads straight into the dead zone. So I don't need to go and mess around with gates around the dead zone. I can just go speak to him, get everything I need to do done there, and then go sneak out and go through the dead zone so I can find all this information and all this evidence that I'm apparently missing about Henry. I just don't understand what else I could be missing, because we already know about the stuff underground, but I can't use any of it. Everyone's just ignoring this stuff that I have about them. Hello, Sam. Sam's house. There you are. Skelly boy. He's looking good for a skeleton. Do you want a drink? Lydia and Sam. Lydia told me about you guys wanting to leave the Syndicate. She told you that? Can't break the bond of friendship, can you? Anything you want to tell me? We're old friends, Sammy. It's as Lydia says, LD. I think we're ready to try something new. How come you lied to me earlier? It paints us in a bad light. We're not council killers. We just want to explore the world. You understand, right? You did lie. This doesn't look good, Sam. You did lie indeed. Marshall, you say the Grand Marshal, Akiko didn't hear her, blah blah blah. Henry's alibi, Henry's movements, anything else can kill me, bit of isolation cell. Henry's possession. Do you know about Henry's possession? Dead zone's bad news. If you're looking for a crime from a decade ago, you have to stare into the hell coffin. I already have, and you haven't told me about anything I found down there, including your booze. Fancy a drink? Screw it. What's your recommendation this time, Sam? How are you doing, LD? Tired? I'm exhausted. I thought you might be. How about a dish of edamame and a whiskey muzuwari? Perfect. Serving whiskey in a muzuwari style is good with food. Mixing chilled whiskey and chilled mineral water lengthens the flavour but maintains the mouthfeel. You can really taste the toffee flavour in this one, can't you? I never, ever, when I've drunk alcohol, I've never, ever, stupid arm, never ever had any alcohol that says it has like notes of chocolate or notes of caramel or toffee or honey or whatever. There has never been a form of alcohol that I have tasted and agreed with that, like whiskey or bourbon or whatever, or scotch or beer or ale, anything like that. I have never tasted it, anything. It just tastes like whiskey or like scotch or like beer, etc., etc. The only time I've ever said otherwise is when I'm drinking like a cider that's like a really fruity cider, or like a gin liqueur or something like that. And I like gin liqueur, but that's the only time I've ever had a flavoured alcohol that tastes like that flavour. Everything else is always just tastes like a pure version of that alcohol. It doesn't matter how well aged it is, it doesn't matter how well preserved it is, it doesn't matter where it was stored. Squint my tongue. I just gotta... I can't do it. The model doesn't have tongue physics. No. I was gonna roll my tongue, but I guess that's not the same. But, ugh. Remember Dead Nebula's fine aged soul? A deep and complex yet delicate whiskey. One of Dead Nebula's most popular whiskies. You enjoyed it just before your exile. You had one last night in my bar before your exile. We drank this together with Lydia, didn't we? You have a good memory. It's my job to remember everything about a guest in my bar. I'm not just here to serve drinks. It is imperative that I select the right drink and make sure you leave happier than when you arrived. Yeah, well, I try my best, but it doesn't always work out. Japanese bar snacks. I like Japanese bar snacks. What's with the Japanese bar snacks? You're from Turkey. The Japanese have perfected the art of bartending. The drinks are precise and finely crafted and made especially for each guest. The purpose is to hone a craft and use that to create a drink that can only exist in that moment for that guest. Other countries view drinking as a means to an end. We view it differently though, don't we, LD? something to be savoured and enjoyed. I think a lot of people drink to savour and enjoy it. In fact, I think drinking for the sake of drinking tends to be more a teenage, young adult thing. A very early 20s type deal. Or, you know, late teens, early 20s. Depending on where you're from, obviously. Because here people can drink from age 18. But, yeah. I mean, a lot of people here who are 18 just drink for the sake of getting blasted. Which is fair. It's not something I would do, but okay. But I can't think of many people who, like, are older than me now who would drink just for the sake of drinking. It just seems like a bad idea. I would much rather savour a good gin. Or a good rum. But then again, I haven't had rum in a while. I'd love to stay, but this mass murder won't solve itself. Please come back, won't you? Looking forward to it. Me too. Yep, okay. May you always live in the shadow, and may you reach the moon. Okay, so... really now... all we have... is the dead zone to explore. Like this. Yeah, so all we have now is the dead zone to explore, which is in his backyard-ish. Yeah, thought so. I can't jump over it, I need to jump like this. Nope. Better than that. Ah. Nope. Oh wait, there we go. Okay. Ah! How did I get in there last time? Yeah. Damn it. There we go. Okay. The double definitely helped. Ooh, what was in here? I don't think I checked in here. Bar knife through the heart store. A safe. Yes! Hello, dog. A dogged contender. Which dog are you? So I know a number of dogs. Hiya, Mary. How you doing? How you been? Thanks for turning up. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and a big square on the bottom. Oh wait, and then another pyramid. Pyramid, pyramid. That's too big a pyramid. Pyramid, pyramid. Line, line, arrow, arrow. Did you sleep well at least? What are you doing sleeping so late? I know you've had a rough time at work lately. According to Twitter, anyway. This one's a little bit more tricky. Oh, wait, no. Okay, I see. There we go. Much better. A lump of non-human flesh. So that would be demonic flesh. Oh, dang it. I need the nightmare upgrade. I don't have the upgrade. Oh, well, I'm glad you're okay. I hope things get better. Having restless sleep is never fun. There's a lump of flesh in here. It sure isn't human. I can feel the cosmos when I look at it. It's God flesh.
I don't.
It looks like this has been carved off something. What is this related to? I need to find out more before questioning Sammy. Do you? Who else am I going to question? Oh, screw it. Anyway, back down to the dead zone. And to check out where the demons, or which demonic things I haven't actually looked into yet. Because I was pretty sure I had already found everything I needed to. But then there were some things that I found and nobody would actually listen to and talk to me about. Especially the people who were guilty, somehow. I couldn't just call them out on it. Alright. Thankfully, if this were actually a horror game, I'd be very, very, very scared down here. Something's been destroyed here. So it says there's nothing unusual here. Okay. Right. So I remember it was inside the nebula. It was inside the apartment where Henry was first corrupted. And there were so many floors. But we couldn't find anything in there because I looked top to bottom and there was nothing of any value. So, what am I supposed to be looking for this time? Henry's apartment. Yep, that's where he killed someone. It spread out. Demonic corruption took hold. Began the end of the sequence. Which truths? I don't know. Corpse of Reen Division, Henry's mother. He killed her by strangulation. Looks like the corpse was left here when the corruption happened. The area was evacuated. She's been decomposing for 10 years. No evidence. Although the TV's still working. It's held up fairly well. Chalked out ritual circle, presumably where Henry conducted the ritual that caused his possession. Chalked symbols, candles and statues of gods. Can't beat the classics when you're conducting an illegal ritual. The books had a code. I've spoken to him about it. He wouldn't let me... I thought the books at least, because we know that Yuri took the books. So if we could take the books that are here, compare them to whatever books were taken by Henry from the library 10 years ago, we would at least have a decent map as to what it was he was doing and why he'd taken them. But nothing here either. So the other suspicious place was the storeroom in which something had been experimented with. And we know that one of the experimentees was witness to the end. Anyway, yeah, so we know witness to the end was one of them. I'm pretty sure it was either Akiko or Camille. Tomography, I'm guessing it was used to see what's inside a demon.
The investigator
Containment
is
crate,
here.
strength covered in holy wards, can be used to hold a demon. Something storing a demon down here. It's a chromatograph. It's when Isaiah and I started dating, happier days. I assume this device has something to do with studying demons. High-powered microscope. And that's it. So another dead end. God damn it. So why was I being directed back down here? I already know that Sam is guilty of something because he's the one who he's the one who is storing alcohol down here, so he's the only one that's had access for a while. But we know that witness to the end and one of the two women were also involved in that because they were the ones performing experiments down there on demons, which I'm assuming one of which would probably be Henry. It's just my assumption anyway. On top of that, damn it, I was on a roll there. On top of that, what was I going to say? What was it? Where was I going with that? Yeah, on top of that, that would... Oh, hiya. That would mean that Henry was being experimented on by Witness because Witness asked Doomjazz if adrenaline could stop someone or give a demon a strong enough boost to get them back out of a prison cell, to make them strong enough to leave. And we also know from that because all of these areas are locked off and there's no proof of anyone actually going in or out from that entrance for a while, I think, I might be wrong on that actually, there might have been... No, this is just a long timeline of that. Let's see, dead zone, is there a dead zone thing? There is not a thing on the dead zone. I need to go and keep looking at that. As far as I remember, there was no information about the dead zone doorways that told us that people had been going in and out. But Sam had been storing alcohol in the back door to the dead zone, which means that other people could effectively have a way in of their own should they be able to talk him into letting them down there. Assuming he doesn't just, assuming he's aware of it anyway. Don't you think it's a bit of a flaw? What is? Allow allowing a possessed citizen to stay on the island? You people are all about getting rid of demons. It's one of your main things. You never shut up about it. We have reasons, I guess. They probably had their reasons. Such as making an example out of a criminal, or one of the many rituals we have, or Akiko needs someone to waterboard on a bad day. This wasn't as interesting as I hoped. See you around. Aw. I'm sorry for disappointing you, Shinji. Okay. Okay, so that's this bar. Anyway. Crystal. I'm just running out of them really quickly. Wait. Oh, this is going back up to his place, so that's how I get up in the first place, I guess. Huh. And Syndicate Apartments as well. Oh no, through the heart. Okay, so according to the potential leads, we need to find out what the Holy Seal is, deep within the Council's building. Fourth Holy Seal is a mystery. Don't know how to get in there. Starlight upgrade jammed in a broken vending machine in a warehouse, so I can go and look for that. The Marshal Barracks are restricted, that means the truth is being restricted. I need to find a way to get in there. There was an empty blood vial in Sam's chiller. It had a K on it. K. Akiko, Crimson, Dr. Doomjazz, Lydia Daybreak, Sam. Once to the end, Yuri, Judge. No. Okay. I mean, the only one I can really think of would be Akiko. But, of course, without any way to check on it, that still doesn't help. On the other side, eh? An oasis in this tropical heat. Oh, a foot bath. Damn. I need more crystals. If I got the foot baths were a thing. Ah, crap. If I can get in the foot bath, then I get another, what's it called? Thank you, crystal. I get another power up. Unlocked it. So that must mean there would be another crystal around here, because this seems to be an area that I haven't really explored. 21 memento obtained. 21st island sequence. We restored the heartbeat of Moonlight Petal. She slumbers under Siberia. We must give her more power. I don't remember what happened to that timeline, to that island sequence. But now I can go and get the foot bath done. I won't be able to quick travel for a while, which I have to say is probably my biggest issue with this game, is the fast travel system, especially given how large the entire place is. But oh, and Shinji. Shinji doesn't really help, but I still like talking to him, and I like doing his voice. Want to tell me anything about your home planet? Not really.
Sure.
Why not? Don't like people prying into my affairs. Oh, okay. See ya. Boom. Fair enough. That was a little bit more stilted than I expected, but never mind. I've got plenty of other things to do. Or at least now I can get a foot bath. And self-care is always important, so I'm going to make the most of it. I think I just went the wrong way. Oh, hey, Red. How did your stream go? What were you doing? And hi to everyone. Hello. Nice to see you here. I'm just playing a mystery murder game. I feel like I can concentrate a little bit harder now. It feels like I could find anything, even if it's hidden. Hold the meditate button to reveal the island secrets. Islands are weird. What? Mysteries are revealed. Oh my god! Look at all the stars. I can now go hunt down anything I want to. Yeah, how you doing, Red? What you been up to? What you been playing? This is the best power-up. It's just, that's it. This is the best power-up. A new avatar. I'll have to check it out. Is it a live 2D or a 3D or? Or do you mean a just like an avatar like icon? Ah, Vroid, yeah. Okay. I think that's what Jack, partially what Jack is as well. Yeah, you have to go and check out the VOD and see how it looks. I've not seen many people, or at least I don't see many people working with Vroid on stream. I've seen loads of them being used, but I never see any actual being made. Welcome back, Hater. How you doing? Meditation mode. Freeze. Okay. Well, now I know I'll never run out of things if I need to actually look for them. Eating's always good. What did you have? Plenty of currency I can just grab. I did. I've unlocked meditation. Yeah, it's meant to be. I mean, it's very inspired by Danganronpa, I would say. And it's just psychedelic, I think is the best way to put it. It's really cool. Pork and chips, tasty. Yeah, it's just so... Oh, you should see the names as well. They're just as weird. Like, I just got done speaking with Sam Daybreak after visiting The Witness to the End. And, oh, I finally banged Dr. Doomjazz, which was less interesting than I was expecting it to be quite honest. I was expecting there to be a lot more to it, but it was a bit of a letdown. Which is no saying that he's a letdown in general, but I thought there'd be more interaction with him. I know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I was very glad it wasn't explicit, because I realised just as the screen went dark, I was like, oh crap, am I going to have to censor all this? But then, oh right, yeah, The Way of Blood Bar. 25th Island sequence. Why do you think there are so many mysteries? Everything creates a mystery. Human, animal, planet, mineral, everything creates a mystery. And yeah, my motion leap's a bit weird sometimes. Everything creates a mystery. It's a byproduct of existing. Not even living, just existing. Everything produces a mystery that we want to solve. Why do we want to solve them? Human nature. Most things are ambivalent about mysteries. Rocks create mysteries, but a rock doesn't care about mysteries. Humans are unique. We need mysteries to live. Without mysteries, we'd go insane. But a mystery can make you go insane. That's the knife edge we all walk. I mean, she's not wrong. Solving mysteries is, well, it's a reason why so many people love murder mysteries, why so many people love mystery games. No, because I don't have anywhere I can get an actual clip from here. I would need to, like, order one from a 3D printer someplace else on a store. And I don't know any local places that actually do 3D printing, if any. So it's just on my desk and it just ends up getting in the way half the time. Clothes pegs would not be big enough, but also I don't own any. So, Go back to meditation mode. Don't think it needs to tell me every time, but... Okay. Really, I shouldn't be letting myself get distracted with this, because there's so many things I could go around collecting. Hello? Oh, wait, Shinji. It's you. I was expecting another stone. Gazing across an endless cosmic desert, drifting through an abyssal sea, dreaming of an antique summit in a monolithic city overlooking an impossible cavern. All the good shit, you know? Okay. Yes. Ooh. Oh, doggy. Oh wait, I already dealt with you, didn't I? Oh, I think you're. Oh, what was your name? I think I've already done my quests for you. Bear-chan. Oh, I don't have any more treats for you. I'm sorry. Yeah, I mean, I guess I could look into it, but it would. There must be a few places around here that 3D print, I guess, but I'm also worried about the quality of the 3D print. Because there are some places that charge quite a bit, but the last place that I got to 3D print me something, it was a Stadia controller clip for my phone, and it was garbage. It like snapped after the first use. I was not impressed. So I'm always very weary about places that 3D print things, especially if they're just low quality garbage. Recording note 002 obtained. I asked Tanya what she thinks, if she can feel it too. She laughed. She doesn't feel it. I looked into Tanya's past. She seems normal. Seems. I have no idea what that was in relation to, but oh well. Yeah, problem with this is that now I want to just keep on looking for all the secret things. No. Well, I guess I'll just have to become a student at your place. Blue goat brings fruit. I can't jump up there anyway. It's too high. Ooh, but I can... No, wait. They said in a warehouse, there was a vending machine that was broken and giving out parts for my my laptop thing, but Starlight. And with that, I could convert things. So now, if I can just... Hey, Shinji. You been switching out skins on Starlight? No. What business of yours? Chill, I'm just looking out for our fellow generation remixes. Can't have just the standard thing these days. Got to make it yours. Sticker this, custom wallpaper that. Shows you personality or something. I don't know. Boom. Okay. Well, I mean, at the moment I've got Bear. And Bear's the only real one I want. Although, saying that, yeah. It's one of the main reasons I'm using it is because they threatened me. But it's a cute dog, so, you know, I'll stick with it. Anyway. I'm going to keep on collecting all the things, because now I have this device which just lets me... Whoa. Which just lets me look everywhere. A carving about the Blood Dancer. Gifted technology to many races. Astral engineer without equal. Thinks nothing of ethics and uses much of her technology to perform genocide across entire planets. Wouldn't be surprised if it's one of the Dead's dogs. That's what I'm guessing, yeah. And it's a very good dog, but I don't like being threatened. But, again, because it's a cute dog, I'll give it a pass. But what's important is warehouse. Oh, and... yeah, screw it. Now that I've found a thing that lets me collect all the blood crystals, it's going to be much easier, hopefully. Now, where is there a broken vending machine? Yes! No! No! Come on! Broken vending machine! Hello! Oh, for God's sake. In the vending machine there was supposed to be a Starlight thing. That's what the thing... That's what I saw on the case file anyway. So where's my vending machine? Where's my Starlight upgrade? Where is it? I need it. Nope. Didn't realize there were actually windows in this. It's in here. Come on. I guess I'll just go and collect things elsewhere then, because there's still plenty to catch. 8th Island sequence removed from history. Oh, for God's sake, really? Okay, so I need to go around and buy just a metric crap ton of drinks, and then put another coin in and get more drinks. Why are machines connected to each other? Why are vending machines connected to each other? Oh well. Might as well make a start. Oh, fantastic. You can be sold out now? Fruity carbonated drink with added vitamins and minerals sold at discount to deep factory workers. Oh. Acid Jazz, is that you? Crimson Acid. WW thanks you for your purchase. Please. Dead Nebula monitors the drinking habits of all inhabitants of the Paradise Islands, be they syndicate or citizen. For security reasons, we need to analyse your voice pattern. Please say the following phrase.
Dead Nebula, more refreshing than a cosmic apocalypse.
Nah. Everyone loves advertising, and everyone loves having a profile of themselves made specifically for the purpose of advertising. Dead Nebula, more refreshing than a cosmic apocalypse. You've gone soft, Lady Loved Eyes.
I have a bad feeling about
I'm
this.
supposed to be a valued customer. It's been a long time. The old Lady Loved Eyes would never have trotted out a corporate catchphrase. Exile has an effect on people. What brings you back to the island? The council mass murder last night.
No way.
We thought something was wrong. We got down to the last of our stock and no one's refilling us. The island can't end until I solve this case. How does it feel being back on the beat?
I was born to investigate.
I was born to investigate. The idle lands are no place for an investigator. We feel you. Nice to see the investigation freak again. You got the inside scoop for me? Any weird drinking habits? I like to drink backwards out of cups, if that counts. When that demonic possession happened a decade ago, we sold a lot more Sanatia. People like protection. Does it actually work? Does anything? Listen, you're one of the good guys. We want to help. You keep buying drinks and we'll see what we can do. There's a broken vending machine in warehouses. Someone jammed something in it. We think it may be an upgrade for Starlight. Well, I knew that. It's going to take some time to get the machine rebooted.
Buy more drinks.
Which is code for buying more drinks. The island is hot. I'm sure I'll be thirsty. That's the spirit. We'll be in touch. I guess I'm just another cog in the corporate machine now. Oh well. I do like soda. Mysteries are revealed. So, more drinks, more vending machines, and all my other information on my leads are pretty much done because I can't get anywhere. Start upgrade, blah blah blah. Fourth seal is a mystery. Find out what the third seal is. I can go and... Okay, so I do need to go to the Paradise Gates in order to buy more drinks, TM. Should be their trademark, given how hard they push it. So I need to go to the gates across the way in order to... Ooh, wait a minute. Yes. Seriously, why is... This seems kind of overpowered, this whole mechanic. Just because if you can now track down... Oh, look. Trans rights. If you need to hunt down everything, then this just makes things so much easier. The only reason I was struggling before is because I had no clue where I was going. So now it's like just a see everything map. Oh yeah, I've already fixed you. Water refreshing drinks. I'm getting thirsty, actually.
Relic obtained.
I mean, if I am going to have to keep on looking around and keep it running every second that I'm playing, I think maybe at some point I'm going to have to just dedicate some time to collecting all this stuff offline. I see Shinji. Yeah, just doing this offline so I can go and collect a whole bunch of stuff and then come back and play more when I'm done, so that we can just skip ahead to whatever's interesting. Yay. Yep. Oh, damn it. Oh, wait. Ooh. Okay, up and... No! No, 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 no! Okay. Maybe? Yes! Thank goodness. How many dead bodies have you seen?
I have a bad
Enough to last a lifetime. That must be a lot since you're immortal. Hiya, Nova. How you doing? Nice to see you. That must be a lot since you're immortal. A lot has happened on these islands. Really wicked shit, I bet. I'm good, thank you. As being a mystery sleuth. A very slow one. Would love to have seen it. Oh, okay. Ooh, crystal. Oh wait, no, not a crystal. Just a pickup. Coveted loyalty card. It is very mysterious. I'm in a land of people. I'm in a land full of people with names like Dr. Doomjazz and Witness to the End. So, yeah. I think if you're in a cast of that many colourful characters, then you know that something is going to go wrong. Because, I mean, honestly, no well-balanced family would have that range of names. That's the point. Yay. I'm just going to end up spending these as quickly as I'm finding them. Lotus is a frightful plant that strikes fear in the minds of even the strongest demon worshipper. Oh. So many things here to collect, and I love collecting things. Or at least in games where the main objective isn't to collect things. I'm not so fond of Mario and things like that, but... and Sam. I mean, his name is Sam Daybreak. So... well, the fact that they do get to be called the Daybreaks is pretty cool. And Yuri Knight. What was the other one? It's Akiko, which I guess isn't really that weird, but Grand Marshal Akiko 14, Carmelina Silence, Crimson Acid, and Kehex. And Henry Division. I think I've already done this. Yeah, okay, so I don't want to go in there yet. It's going to be a little while before I actually figure out exactly where I need to take my next stab. Really hope I don't just have to end up going around and collecting all the vending machines, because that would really kill it. For now, we know that there's nothing in the dead zone anymore, or at least nothing aside from the safe, which Henry won't give me any access to. Yeah, I've got points that I think I can make, but nobody is actually letting me talk to them about them. I mean, I could go and check with Henry again, but he didn't seem to be very interested in anything I had to say. He just said, "No, you're not getting my safe." It's like, but dude, your safe could literally be what helps me figure out whatever is going on in here. Because I'm still willing to bet now that Yuri is the one that gave you the books. And if that is the case, then that makes him a little bit more suspicious. Yes, I know the forked path. I struggled to get up there, but I know it. Beautifully clear water once obtained from a well in an ancient mountain. The mountain was lost millennia ago. The water has never tasted the same since. I'm not so sure you're drinking water anymore. At least not the same water from the mountain. Yeah. Ritual sites, a lot of stuff there. Okay. So, Kehex. Yes, Kehex was up there, okay. No, thought I saw something. Okay. Right, so heading to Kehex's place then. And, oh, no, that was one that I did. I should be keeping this up, shouldn't I? Just to make sure I can look around and check to see if there's anything that I could possibly... Really? I thought it was dead over there, though. Oh, no, that's the temple dead. That's the... yeah. Can't get up there. Yeah, so that's where the temple guy died. Ooh. A crest. Cool. Yeah, I remember now. See what? A golden globe. See a gold. Oh wait, up there. Okay, I see it. Yeah. But while we're down here, are there any more little pieces that I can gather for that piece of art over there? Just in the immediate vicinity. Or just drinks. Drinks will do too. Because I do love a good angel ward. It's heavenly. A highball named after a district on one of the old islands. It was rife with unexplained crime before the Paradise Psycho Unit determined the demonic cause. The flavour changes each island in line with a new whiskey blend. Done by Sam, most likely. Or just by Dead Nebula. Screw it, let's go up to the globe. And then hope that the ritual site actually has things that I can use. Because at the moment, I'm in a dead end. Wait, I think I've tried getting in there before, but I couldn't get in. Or there was nothing I could find in there that was actually valuable. I think. Maybe it was just something I avoided the whole time. I know I've been up here, but did I just not go inside? So many things that get dropped during the rush to be sacrificed at the end. Oh. I didn't realise she had her own merchandise line as well. Yay! How many blood crystals do I have left? 3. Okay. B2 again. So I only need 10 of these. So now I think I'm down to 4? I think it's 4 that I've got so far. So I think I'm good. I think I'm on track for not using all of my currency. But still, whoa! Oh, is this the slaughter chamber? Is this what this is? Traditional donate, yep. So go walk with me and carving out the god Moonlight Petal. Expert terraformer and architect. Built the eternal labyrinth in a dead star. Killed during the Great Betrayal in her endless city in Siberia, her corpse is currently buried deep within the Russian catacombs. There's a load of gods buried in catacombs all over the place. So there's decayed something or tears something in the Egyptian catacombs, in the Egyptian pyramids. One of them buried in India. Okay, sweet. Carving details the god Destroy Eden, that was him. A huge centaur god that roamed space. He made a crown of asteroids and filled their caves with harems of fanged men he encountered on a dying planet. Centaur men, you say? Interesting. Going to look me up. If this didn't have such pleasant music playing, I'd actually be a little creeped out in here. Especially with all the creepy squid things. Oh, no, it's a goat with squid legs. That's even worse. But what is in here that is relevant to me? Crystals. Crystals are always good, because otherwise I'm not going to be able to actually fast travel or buy things. Oh, that's not crystal. Bad. Faulty worship stamp. When a citizen completes their allotted worship quota in a day, their report card is stamped. It is also stamped for over-worship. Christ. Well, you know, religion is pretty heavy. I went to a Catholic school, so I know the feeling. And Catholic schools are about as fun as they're made out to be on TV. And yet, a number of people I knew in Catholic school actually ended up gay. Which makes it even funnier because they were always they were always accusing me of being gay back then. I mean, I ended up bi, but, you know. There's a lot of there's an awful lot of random crap scattered around the island, isn't there? They're vignettes of lives once lived. That's a poetic way of saying trash. Boom. No. You're just scooping it all up, are you? The answers to mysteries are everywhere. Sorry, I'm keeping you from your hobby of collecting garbage. Don't let me interrupt. Boom. I'm not a good Catholic. I went to Catholic school. I never said I was Catholic. It was a case of not having many other choices at the time. Ooh, puzzle. Okay. Controls seem to move walkways. I wonder if I can find the right combination. This is going to take a while. Yeah, I went to 2 Catholic schools, more or less. I went to Catholic primary school and then Catholic... oh, wait a minute. Have I... Yes! Okay, I'm good. I can walk across now. I am good. Not a good Catholic, though. I'm just good. Yeah. I went to a Catholic primary school and a Catholic high school, and neither of which I really paid much attention in. Because the people there didn't act like Catholics, so... It was hard to find God in a place where people were just jerks all the time. But they're all good people now, so, you know. At least the ones I've met. They're actually pretty nice. One of them actually runs his own business. And he's getting married, I think, quite soon to his well, who was his boyfriend, but I guess now fiancé. Which is sweet. Really sweet. I like it. Nightmare computer. Yes! More and more nightmare computers for me. Easy. Easy, easy, easy. I said easy. Easy, easy, easy. Yeah, I think. Then little horn and little horn. Yay. See, I knew I'd get it after the first time. I told you, hater. It only took one try. That's too high up. And a star. Easy. I'm on a roll in here. Ooh, gross bloodlines. Blood vials seem to the coffins, so they can't be used illicitly after death. Why is one last kiss directing me to Grace's bloodline's blood vial? Oh, Grace Bloodlines, Henry's murder victim from when he was arrested. Yeah. Verify this is a blood vial. Wanted complex crescent drifting sand satellite. That's her unique blood code. This is Grace's blood vial. Why does one last kiss want me to find this? Oh dear. Oh, you're one last kiss. I forgot about you. Do you understand, investigator? Starlight confirms this is Grace Bloodline's blood vial. Haunted complex crescent drifting sand satellite. That's the blood code from the vial, correct? You could only know that code if you were Grace Bloodlines, our chief exorcist. You were murdered by Henry when he was arrested. Those are facts, but are they the truth? What keeps someone from moving on? An obligation? A purpose? An unending rage? Your murder was set up. Your murder was set up. Or was it wrong place at the wrong time? Who can say? The truth is all around you, investigator. You should read this. What is it? The official report of the murder of Grace Bloodlines. What about the Holy Seals? I've been waiting for that question. Do you know something about them? Another time, investigator. Wait, I'm not done with you. Investigator, aren't you happy about last night? Hard to be happy about a mass murder. That depends on your perspective. You have benefited directly from this mass murder. No more exile for the great investigator. There is corruption on this island, investigator. Demonic taint is the least of our worries when the syndicate is rotten. The council deserved nothing less. Sounds like you have motive. The syndicate is built on dead bodies. Egos and ambition, God, my arm, can only be sustained by death. I'm a casualty on the path, left to bleed out for someone's benefit. Can you imagine what benefit that would be, investigator? The council deserved to die, sliced to ribbons. One Last Kiss claims she is the spirit of Grace Bloodlines, the exorcist murdered by Henry 10 years ago. She says that Syndicate is full of corruption and she was killed to further someone else's goals. She wants revenge. That I can believe, even if her being dead is dubious. The actual dead. Corruption. I actually believe what she's saying, because it seems more plausible than Henry being the one to kill everyone at this point. One last kiss claims she blah 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 blah. Corruption. Tell me about this corruption. The syndicate's full of plotters and conspirators. So many of them have their little games. Last night, someone played their winning hand. Screw it. You're the best lead I've got at the moment. Do you know who did it? Yes and no. I have some answers, but not all. That seems very unhelpful. Where were you at the time of the murder? I have no alibi, investigator. Well, you're the only person on this island that knows I exist. Well,
Don't test me.
I'm honestly not so bothered about that. And did you murder the council? Of course not, investigator. They deserve to die, but they deserve to be murdered by someone else. I have a vested interest in the whole system coming down, not just the top players. If I may offer some advice, the syndicate are all backstabbers. If you believe there is a conspiracy, break one of the suspects at trial. They'll crumble and will turn on each other. I look forward to our next conversation, investigator. I do hope you'll have more interesting questions. Well. Okay. Well, I'm not going to consider her a suspect, which I know isn't a good way of looking at it from an investigator's point of view, but
The investigator is here.
I think it's less likely that she did it. Just, I don't know. She's just coming to this far too late, and I don't know. A gut feeling, I guess I'd say. It's about as much of a gut feeling as Yuri doing it, but oh well. There's more to her death than the official story. If she was murdered as part of some kind of plot, that gives her a real motive for killing the council. Let's look at a report of her murder. Henry became possessed and the arresting officer was Akiko. Akiko requested the presence of Grace Bloodlines, the syndicate's exorcist.
I have a
During the exorcism, Akiko left the room and Henry took the opportunity to kill Grace by strangulation. His demonic strength allowed him to break through his restraints and quickly kill her. He apparently carved the same symbols scorched into his skin into Grace's body.
I don't like
Before his
this.
arrest, Henry murdered his own mother, Rena Division.
I don't.
He strangled her and scorched her body with demonic sigils.
Ah,
Henry's kind of cute, actually. Doomjazz examined the bodies and confirmed it. Henry was subdued, arrested, and pronounced guilty without a trial. I mean, if that's what happened, then fair enough, but One Last Kiss seems to think that isn't so straightforward. I need to speak to Akiko about the lapse in procedure and Henry to see if he remembers anything, which is unlikely because it happened 10 years ago. Maybe Doomjazz can help since he examined the victims. Okay, so that does give me more leads. Thank you, Hater. But I'm willing to bet that it goes off just as quickly. Oh, for God's sake. Worship computer. I'll go back to Henry again. Ooh, loads of things have opened up now. Oh, goodness. But is there anything else in here that I can steal? Doesn't look like... Oh! Well, I missed you. It's a real shame about the murder, isn't it? Hard to have a good time when everyone's so worked up. I'm trying, though. I really am. I'm off to hunt crows. Bang. Well, enjoy that. Keep going up. Okay. Oh. Hello again. Kiss. Give me your kiss. Little kiss. Suspicions. Was this Henry? Do you think this was all Henry?
aren't you paying attention, investigator?
No. No, I'm not. Of course I don't. I've seen people doing things. Loyal servants turned to conspirators. Someone found out how to breach the council building. I was there. I saw them. A devilish plan. Well, we know that because the vent on the roof had been broken open. So, yeah.
The investigator
There's
is
already
here.
proof that there was a conspiracy and someone tried to go in from above in order to get to them. That would be far too easy. Motives. Who do you think has motive? Very direct, investigator. It's been a long millennia. I'm a little cranky. What if there were no more islands to end? Someone wouldn't have a job to do.
That's weird.
Witness? And who would benefit from a crime like this? Who would suddenly be called upon to protect against danger?
I don't like this.
Akiko? Time to start asking questions, investigator. That is a good point. They protect each other's jobs. That's actually really good. What do you know about Akiko? When you have a hammer, all you see are nails. That's a good, yep. She's been trying to roll more power into her marshals.
Why the hell?
Power? Akiko wants non-military roles to be taken by her troops. I was on her list. She saw dealing with demons only as a military problem.
Aren't you paying
Exorcism
attention,
shouldn't be done by
investigator?
soldiers. They're not trained for it. Akiko disagreed. So I killed the council. Scare the next council into militarizing. Create a soldier's paradise. Do you think that's enough of a motive? Yes. I mean, she's second on my list, but Yuri's first. In fact, where's Yuri not on this list? Comms blackout. Did you experience a comms blackout last night? It would be very convenient for that to happen last night, wouldn't it? I think whoever told you that is lying. Well, it would be Yuri.
Mystery awaits.
It was in the gardens, investigator. But what if there was a gap? You should speak to Lydia. Well, I know... That doesn't help. I've already done all that. Did you see Henry while you were floating around the island? Did I? Didn't I? Didn't want to say. Why? That's the key to this whole thing. You need to investigate it yourself. That's... Tell me about the sigils scorched into Henry's skin. Demons speak in arcane tongues. During a possession, the demon is screaming in rage. The victim screams in the tongue of the demon, but the noises humans are capable of making are too limited. We cannot pronounce demonic languages. We don't have the vocal range or understanding, which would explain why a lot of people speak in tongues. Sometimes the demon's psychic force wills the words into existence. This can take a number of forms: telepathy, unearthly sounds, loss of vision, and so on. In Henry's case, the white-hot rage of the demon caused the sigils to be scorched on his body. His body was burned from the inside. His insides are probably destroyed. His physical form is being held together by the demon. Do these sigils affect anyone else? Those he comes into contact with also have them scorched into them.
Got it.
What kind of contact? A strong embrace. The skin needs to be pressed against another skin for several seconds. The same sigils are found drawn in blood at the crime scene. Would Henry have done these?
Aren't you paying
Drawing is
attention,
an expression of the
investigator?
human mind. When you draw, you communicate something in your mind outwards. The demon has already found a way to express its emotion outwards by scorching Henry's body. The demon already has a canvas. It doesn't need another one. So why are those symbols at the scene? Well, because it was a setup. I mean, that much we knew.
Got it.
This isn't new information. Could the demon make Henry draw them?
Do you understand,
The demon does not
investigator?
control Henry. It causes him to act, but he chooses how to act. Do you see the difference? Like a boss that tells you what to do, not how to do it. Precisely. If Henry were to do that, he'd be doing it under his own volition. I don't know about you, but I can't draw characters from a language I don't understand. Ooh. Okay, so that gives a lot more precedence to a theory. Well, it gives a lot more precedence to Henry's innocence anyway. I mean, it was already like the most obvious choice because of course it wouldn't be the guy that everyone's accusing. Tell me why Witness might want to kill the council.
Enjoy perfect
Witness is
surprise,
damaged. He's whipped
investigator.
himself up into a religious craze. He started thinking things that he shouldn't be thought about. What things? He's become apocalyptic, fatalistic, convinced the end is upon us. How does a ghost know this? Before I died, he came to see me. I mean, I thought it was already... It should be obvious from the get-go that it's not going to be Henry, because it's just... It's just too obvious. But, you know, it does throw a decent amount of shade across the others, though, which... And each of them all have their own things now, so yeah, that makes it a lot more interesting, because from the beginning, anyone could be like, yeah, it's not going to be Henry. He's the guy that was found at the scene of the crime, eating their blood. Of course it's not going to actually be him that committed the murder. He might have, you know, he might have been hungry, but yeah, dude didn't kill. Before I died, he came to see me. He had questions about demons, and I was the exorcist after all. He'd become fixated on the idea that a sea of demons could crash upon the island and wipe us out. A flood sent by the gods to wash away sin.
Sure.
What did he want to know from you?
The truth is,
Are there signs to look for? Can we divine from the stars if a flood is coming? Harmless questions from someone who has the responsibility of overseeing the end of the islands. His role is to look for signs that an island is going to end and to make sure the death and birth happen properly.
the truth is all
The
around
innocuous
you,
questions came
investigator.
first. Then he started asking about initiating a demonic invasion or using demons as weapons. Why ask about that? He dressed it up in a pretense about the warning signs of the end of an island. I'm not a fool, though. You don't ask those questions unless there is dark intent.
The investigator
What did you
is
tell
here.
him? How demons enter the islands, how possession works, all standard topics that everyone in the syndicate is educated on. So why was he asking? I think he was hoping for some nuance or detail that wasn't public knowledge. I didn't give anything away. There are forbidden secrets that the exorcists guard.
Fine as we're
Let me
talking.
ask a direct question. Do you think Witness was trying to use demons to cleanse the island? That I can't say. He certainly was fixated on it, though. That doesn't really explain much. Oh well, I'll ask you about your murder. Bring back some memories. Tell me more about what happened. I received a call from our dear Grand Marshal. She had arrested someone that was possessed and needed an exorcism. I do love dredging up old wounds. I was meeting with architect Carmelina at the time. A meeting about what? The next island, Perfect 25. One of her obsessions has been creating structures which repel demonic corruption. She asked to come with me to view the exorcism.
That's weird.
Is that normal? No, but I understood her interest. We arrived and she inspected the scene before I started my exorcism. She left to wait outside the apartment. Henry was secured and Akiko stepped out of the room to speak to Carmelina. I slipped into my meditative trance to perform the exorcism.
Mystery awaits.
Planes of existence swirled around me. I was lost in the maelstrom, with no sense of place or direction.
There is
Then the
corruption
life was
on
being
this
choked out of me.
island,
I have no idea who the attacker was or which direction they came from. I died, murdered. A short while later, I was floating above the island. I felt an all-consuming rage. I drifted towards the heavens, but my fury allowed me to claw my way back onto the island. Now, here I am. Yeah. Well, I can definitely sympathise with being so angry you wanted to pull yourself out of a situation by force. These islands, huh?
Who would benefit from a
More than you
kind
know.
like these?
Yeah, it's far too obvious. Especially given all of the people that she was surrounding herself with at that moment in time. Kehex is missing. What do you know about Kehex? Why does she keep saying Kehex is missing? Why not just... Is it so that when she mentions it, she like goads them out and like sees if they know? Because if they know, then at least then it's more obvious that they are probably the ones who had something to do with this. Because to me that makes way more sense. But, yeah. Another mystery for the great investigator. I don't know what happened to him, but he's still on the island somewhere. Well, I know, he's dead. So I can't just ask her the straight up questions because she won't answer them. She'll just say, oh, well, it's up to you. What do you know about Henry's demonic possession 10 years ago? Was his possession when the wheels were set in motion? You should find out. What if someone set him up? What if this was part of the plan? Well, Yuri gave him the books. What if someone needed to trigger the end of an island? What if someone accessed the grimoires in the library? So, if this is leading the way I'm thinking it is, then right now it's looking like Yuri, the end, or Witness rather, and Akiko were all collaborating, were all conspirators. Because Witness would have needed someone to actually, well, I guess it doesn't explain why Yuri got someone from the gods to come and help. Or why Yuri started beseeching the gods and whatnot. That doesn't really change anything. But at the same time, Second Holy Seal, let's see what you know. Henry in space. In your professional opinion, could the demon possessing Henry keep Henry alive in the depths of space? There haven't been any recorded incidents of it, but the universe is a vast and mysterious place. When a demon possesses a person, they fuse with them, sometimes purely physically, sometimes only psychically. Henry's demon did both. It exerts a significant power over Henry. Enough power to allow his body to withstand a vacuum. Demons are not from our planet. They come from the most terrifying reaches of the cosmos. They are attuned to space in a way that we never can be. Some demonic races exist only as psychic shadows. Some navigate the edges of black holes. Some bend cosmic energy into huge cities. The right demon could definitely hold a human body together while outside of our world. What about psychically feeling out and manipulating a lock on another planet? The second Holy Seal sounds thrilling, investigator. I don't like the fact that her hands are like mine. They're always just constantly up and hovering around for no reason. It's very unnerving. I understand the cosmos isn't just physical, it exists as a psychic plane as well. Some demonic races can see the psychic shape of space. They can see the essence of everything and how it's linked to planes we can't comprehend.
Sure.
What are the chances of the demon possessing Henry being one that can hold his body together in the vacuum of space and psychically perceive the inner workings of a secret lock?
Oh, you have me with
What are
your
the chances of the council being murdered and the exiled investigator being brought back? Slim, then. You need to decide what the truth is. What do you know about it in general? Ooh,
Do you
that's a good sign.
understand
The mystery of mysteries. What is it? What's the secret? I'm not asking for rhetorical questions. A closely guarded secret. People have found the answer.
The investigator
Who?
is here.
That's too easy.
I
For
have
God's
a bad
sake!
feeling about
I'm a
this.
busy woman. Yeah, I am. Panda. Busy panda. You are, but the path is worth treading. I've seen things. People talking. Things being discarded. You'll need to search behind contrivances. Well, that's very vague. God. Screw it. Demonology. It's demonology. What was Montserrat's plan? With regard to demons? Millennia ago, he would never have gone along with Carmelina's plan. He changed. He wanted control. All rulers do. The Syndicate wasn't providing the gods fast enough. We were struggling with the demons, a continual thorn in our sides. Carmelina's plan to block demonic corruption is flawed. The demons would be repelled from the island structures, but would still possess our cattle. They will scapegoat the citizens. He could come down fiercer on them. A nice move for an aspiring despot.
That's strange.
That isn't the Montserrat I remember. Immortality isn't a good thing. It warps the mind. He followed in the footsteps of his Zigwheel. They went too far. The new island is born. You'll have to live with it. I love having something to look forward to. Okay. Well, I'm going to leave her for now. Because I want to go and have a look at more things that I can just grab.
Fast travel unlocked.
But do you have secrets? Good. How much do they cost? Can I buy them? What's your price? Sounds like Shinji. So yeah, I want to go and look around a bit more because if there are other things that I can find, then I would much rather look around for a bit more rather than just spend another 3 hours going through her dialogue tree. Also, what? This looks weak. I could probably smash it with something. Butt stomp! Ground pound. Nah, damn it. Okay. So at least I know to come back to the ziggurat when I need something. But there's other chests and other crystals and other vending machines to find still. Unfortunately, most of them are going to be all over the cliff sides. Loads of stuff down the beach as well. Nothing else just in immediate view. Yes, I can get up there. Yes, I can. Yay. Oh, maybe not. Never mind. Oh well. Oh yes. Okay. Yay. Always worth. Oh, hi. Well, it's another one down. Yes. At this point, I'm only really looking forward to getting the Starlight upgrade. A chocolate-flavoured drink only sold in remote locations, hard to find but worth it. The elusive chocolate. I wonder what chocolate tastes like here. If whiskey doesn't taste like whiskey and scotch doesn't taste like scotch, I wonder what chocolate doesn't taste like. I guess that was all I was meant to be signing up there, never mind. Oy. I don't know whether or not to continue messing around with her or if I should just spend a little bit of time looking around some more. Because sitting there in a dialogue window for 10 minutes, I think, 10 minutes of reading. It was a little bit much. What's this? Yay, missed one. Plus, I still need loads of crystals if I want to keep on getting all the additional upgrades. There must be another... Oh right, yeah, this is Kehex's dead body. Never mind. I wonder how many other footbaths and stuff there are as well. Because if there's a ground pound ability, I know that that's something I can grab. Is that the footbath that gives me the... Hopefully that'll be the footbath that gives me the missing ground pound. I don't know where it is. We'll keep exploring. It just baffles me just how many things there are to collect. I thought I was getting close to the end. Or, you know, getting close to the end of all the collecting things, I mean. I didn't realise there was just so much. And I haven't got that either. Really? No, 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 no. Every pyramid has an inverted doppelganger on another planet. They are linked. One cannot exist without the other. Okay. Yeah. I'm not sure which is actually more enjoyable. The characters are great, but generally I love, like, you didn't get this in Danganronpa. This is one of the things that trumps Danganronpa in that aspect. An actual kind of ability to run around and collect things and do more than just speak to people. Although I guess you could also do the casino in a couple games and you could click the... you could use that weird little vending machine thing, but it's hardly the same, is it? This actually makes exploration rewarding, which is nice. There's a lot to explore and get rewarded by. A little bit... say a little bit too much, but... oh, okay. So all of these, every single one. I've not got many left. Harbin detailing the history of the god Beautiful Spectre, master of the Astral Hunt, the unending skeleton scourge of the Calibur solar system. Got behind Sam's bar. I got into the dead zone, but I didn't find anything in the dead zone. At least nothing that I could actually pick up aside from checking out the safe, which he wouldn't let me pick up anyway. Which he wouldn't let me open because he wouldn't give me the clue. Or the code. So that bit is a little bit lost. Before the dead zone. Sammy! You're over there. Okay. Don't remember what I might be missing over there. Around. So there's anything I'm missing here? Hidden in the brush. Nope, nope, nope. Okay. Right. So up here. Or around here, even. Oh, there's a crystal. How did I miss that? How did I miss half the things I'm missing? I don't know how I'm managing to miss. Right. Okay. So around here. Oh no, I've gone in there as well. I've already checked this place out. I found a lump of flesh. Ooh. I can't use that because I need the better computer. So yeah. Ooh, but I can go on the water spout. Yeah, I found the lump of flesh, which to me seems like it came from a god. Which immediately made me think of Yuri, because Yuri's obviously the one that bargained with a god or did something. But oh, but I can speak to you while I'm here, can't I? For all the good that'll do. You're probably just going to say the same things again, then. Case files. I could hang out again, though. Grace, what do you know about the murder of Grace bloodlines? I don't know anything, do I, LD? God's sake. May as well spend a crystal while I'm here. What is it this time, Sam? A special one would be appropriate, don't you think? I saved your glass. My glass? You remember, don't you? A glass perfect for a carved ice ball, right? You really do remember your guests, Sam. I must try, mustn't I? I have my own blend, Night Alone. A deep whiskey with complex flavours. The spice mixes with the orange and a hint of honeysuckle. It is meant to be savoured without being diluted. I hand-carve the ice for each glass. Your glass has the perfect shape. Oh no, but the origin of the ice. What glaciers did it come from? This island is suffocatingly hot. The deep factory produces minus 20 degrees Celsius ice that is frozen over a period of days. The longer it takes to freeze, the harder and clearer it is. You can see, can't you, LD, how perfect it is? The ice doesn't melt and dilute the whiskey, which is what he said the first time. A good observer. The colder ice takes longer to melt. You can savour the whiskey for longer without it becoming diluted. So basically thermodynamics, the basics of. An excellent way to spend some time, wouldn't you say?
Sure.
What's the most important ingredient in your blends? It's hard to say a lot of craft, isn't it? Everything has a place and use, doesn't it? If you push me for an answer, it is my love for Lydia. You can relate, can't you? She is my partner in life, and my respect for her gives me something to live up to. I miss that. I miss having that. Do you want to have a lover, LD?
Sorry.
A lover and a partner. I miss Isaiah. The journey to perfection is a hard one. Loved ones are essential. We have similar outlooks, don't we? It is always a pleasure, LD. I'll be back. The glass love dies always used at Sam's bar before her exile. Sam saved it between each island. Oh. Yeah. Well, I still say all of his drinks probably taste exactly the same. But only because I can't really taste any difference between different forms of whiskey. But, you know, that's just me. I'm not a very strong drinker. Okay. I don't know. Anyone else I go speak to will probably just need to be spoken to about, what's it called? About the death of Grace, whatever her name is. Because, because, you know, that's the new thing on the block is, oh, hey, I found this Grace woman died. And I'll go and speak to them and I'll be like, you know, what do you know about this person's death? And most of them will be like, oh, well, I wasn't around for that. What do you want? And then there'll be like one person, two people. Oh, well, I guess I can go and check with two people that it makes the most sense to check with. Who are Akiko and... Where are you? Kiko and Carmelina. Carmelina? No. Carmelina. Okay, Carmelina must be over by Akiko. Or in Akiko's direction then. Oh yeah, potential leads. Fine. Area of suspiciously weak ground around Snicket Graveyard. Let's smash it through with the right tool. Find out what the third Holy Seal is. The fourth Holy Seal is a mystery. There may be a Starlight upgrade jammed in a machine. Empty blood vial in Sam's chiller. Had a K on it. Safe in Henry's apartment. Martial barracks are restricted. Well, I know all of those, but I don't really... The best one I can do is probably go and find the upgrade, which would mean I have to go and track down a load of vending machines. Speaking of which... Yes. C4. Explosive. Sparkling water, famed for its crispness and delightful mouthfeel. I hate sparkling water. Absolutely hate it. Anyone who ever tells you like sparkling water is lying to themselves, or lying to you and to themselves to make themselves feel cool. It's not a pleasant drink. It just tastes like someone's farted in it. Yes, I have, and the sparkling water always overpowers the taste of the actual cordial. Fruit-flavoured soft drink makes you think of caring for your sick mother and when you went travelling to Egypt with a group of friends. You've done neither. Speak for yourself. I've done one of those things. I'm quite proud of it. But I won't tell you which one it was. But it was a good time. Well, yeah, I know that, but yeah. 18th Island sequence, the erroneous timelines. Gregory Complex gave his life so that it may be switched back. I do like seeing these little things about different islands that have been completely destroyed and or sacrificed. Oh man, did you see the I only saw it on Twitter yesterday, the thing about Stone Ocean? I had no idea it was so close to actually being finished and released. So fucking hype. Fudging. Whoops. No swears. Yeah, I just wasn't expecting to see it suddenly on Twitter yesterday. It's definitely not my favourite of the series, but it's still pretty good. But then again, I think everything they do is just good in general, so I'd watch it regardless of whether it was JoJo or not at this point. I've only got one blood crystal left. Oops. You empty? Yay, okay. A4. So how many drinks is that? How many drinks? I think crisp light beer. The thirst must be killed so we can move on. Okay, well I guess I'm still not towards the end yet then. Now I'm out of blood crystals. But because I'm close to Kiko now. Oh wait. Is that again? Is that the island, or is that the gate to the new island? Because if I can go and check that and get information about Lydia and Sam's gate pass, that means I can prove whether or not they were lying about their alibi. I mean, I doubt they were lying. Very highly doubt. But it's still important just to get it checked off. Is it always free? It's the important thing. Nope. Not fast travel. No blood crystals, cannot fast travel. Oh, damn it. Well, I guess I can't just lie to the machine. Bad. Okay. I still need something. Nearest blood crystal, for the love of God. Oh, it's not so much, I mean, I was hoping that I'd just be able to get there without having to pay at all. Yay! Besides, at the moment, I think blood crystals for drinks are more important, because at least then I can actually get the upgrade for the Starlight. I mean, that's my assumption anyway. Because if you said that the thing up at Sam's house is important and I should go and use it, then yay! Please say that's it.
The Nebula thanks you for your continued patronage.
You've tried a lot of the refreshing beverages we make. You are our most valued customer. Do you have a favourite? So hard to pick. I mean, God. There's so many delicious flavours and beverage types. God. Never mind that. Remember that upgrade for Starlight we mentioned? We'll come through for you. Hang for a sec. The vending machine has been soft rebooted. You should be able to get the upgrade thing out now. Don't forget, it's in the warehouses.
Why?
Why is hardware like that jammed in a vending machine? The dead Nebula security chief is a real moron. He'd been showing off just before the slaughter ritual. He thinks exposing OS loopholes is a great way to impress people.
Why?
Why did he have a Starlight upgrade? He did a favour for someone he shouldn't have in the Syndicate. They promised him a piece of Syndicate tech in return. What he got was an unusable upgrade for use on a device he'd never see. Like we said, moron.
How?
How did it end up in a vending machine? Marshals came knocking. He tried to hide it. It's jammed in the dispensing mechanism. Should come out if you try making a purchase now that it's been rebooted. Works for me. Appreciate it. I'm not going to have to pay for it, am I? Go get him, Lady Loved Eyes. If the culprit lets out a confession in range of our microphones, we'll let you know. Okay. So it was all the way on the other side. I think that was there, the warehouses, or deep factory. No, it was must have been over there then, I think. Okay, well if that's the case, then I can do that and then immediately go check out Sam's place. Which at the moment is probably one of the most important bits, or at least I think it is. I mean, it's like 2 or 3 different things that I can activate if I get that last piece. And I would really like to have... Oh, yeah, so... Oh, actually, while I'm here, I may as well. Not gonna be much, but... Murder of Grace Bloodlines. Last Kiss. Do you know anything about One Last Kiss? Is that her name? She's good at hiding herself, but I've seen her.
Sure.
Do you know who she is? I figure some kind of spirit. I don't know who she was in her former life, though. What do you know about the murder of Grace Bloodlines? Ah, that makes sense. I have got something good. Are you buying? Not today. Sadly. Which is disappointing, but I can hang out. Time for a chat, Crimson. Tell me about your blessing. The 19th Island incident. It was a weird island from the beginning. Strange feeling in the air, like it was a powder keg waiting to go. About 2 centuries into it, a demonic invasion happened. Illegal communication. Someone communicated with the gods. We discovered an Eden cult in the apartments. They'd convinced themselves a passing comet was their god. They were amateurs, but managed to reach out into space. The demons flooded in. This keeps happening. Why don't we ever manage to prevent this? Try as you might, you can't stop insurrection in a society. The Syndicate never learn. If you mass abduct a population and enslave them, they're going to act out. That's the secret to Perfect 25. Carmelina and Masahiro came up with the psychic retardant material for the buildings. You're never going to stop citizens reaching out to the gods. The islands have been able to withstand it. So you fought the fight and got blessed. Not just a pretty face, lady. Akiko and her marshals were pinned down at the temple. I held the line at the council building. Just have a pretty face. Akiko's never forgiven me. She was convinced the demon general would go for the temple. I believed otherwise. After the battle, the gods blessed me and I got this new head. Story time's over, lady. Be glad I didn't charge you for this. Go save paradise instead of hanging around in a sewer. I'll be back for another story. To be fair, if it's good enough for you, why isn't it good enough for me? I mean, I don't like the sewer, but hey, you're down here. Not like I like it or anything. And now on our way to the warehouse. Ah, wait. Okay. So the warehouses are further than I expected away. Okay. I think there were more than 10? Or did I just buy them all from the right ones? Absurd message stones obtained. Stones painted by children before they go to the slaughter ritual. They make wishes for their next life. Citizens don't have a next life. Oh, that's sad. That's actually really... That's depressing. It's poor kids. Okay, well, I'm going to need some more crystals regardless, so... Oop-a-doop-a-doop. Collecting all the crystals. So what... I want to know what percent, or what kind of, completion... Hey. No, I'm good. What kind of completion rate there is for this? Like, does completion factor in both collection and story, or does it only matter if you've got the story, or is there a separate counter? Fourth island sequence. We understand. Communing with the gods lets alien devils in. They rot our islands and condemn us to failure. We must never speak to them. Some do not obey the law. Oh, we're just talking about that. I guess so long as I buy and find everything that I need to actually complete the game. That's about all I can do, really, isn't it? So I'll just have to manage and make do. But I'll be fine. Plus, now I have some more crystals, so I should be okay for the next few purchases. Whatever that might need to be. Oh god, Yuri. Well, while I'm here, Yuri, I may as well deal with your nonsense. Oh, crystal. Let's see what you got to say, you big egotistical piece of crap. Oh, yeah, see? What do you know? Nothing. Saw that coming. I'm already maxed out with you, because you're intolerable. Okay. At least I don't need to use them anymore. As far as I know, anyway. Crystal. I'm seeing a lot more of these now that I'm actually... Now that I've got my thing going. My scanner thing. Seriously, where was the... What were the warehouses? I'll get up there. Okay. Yeah, what were the warehouses? Over here? Ooh. Hey. I forgot they were over here. Near the factory area. Is that over there? Factory area. Agri fields. Yeah, so they should be over here. Okay, let's just jump. I said jump. Oh, wait a minute. Just after we checked around for a little bit more. Just in case. Anything within the area? No, just up the building. Okay. So that is a thing I can collect, or is that just an interactable thing? No, that's just an interactable thing. Bah! Okay, down off the cliff. Geronimo! Oh, crap. Into the water. Ah, goodness. Oh, but there's one in his boat. I'll have to go back and get that later. But I don't need to... Oh, wait, I do need to speak to him again. He's still got stuff I can speak to him about, so I can still speak to him. Cool. Right. Getting back up to where I was when I started today. Hey, Shinji. Buddy. Maybe wolves did it. The council murder? Yeah! Wolves are crazy. They tear all sorts of stuff up. A pack of wild wolves broke into the council building, bypassed all of the holy seals, and tore the council apart. I can hear the sarcasm in your voice. I don't like it. I'm trying to help. Expand your thinking. Don't limit yourself.
The investigator is
Don't
here.
limit myself to actual reality and things that could plausibly happen in it. Wolves don't even exist on this island. Fine, throw it back in my face. Boom. Well, I mean, if an idea is stupid, don't humour it. I'm not going to pretend to be on his side for this one. I remember that light going before. Right then, at last, my reward. My reward for about an hour's worth of tracking down machines. A1. Gorgeous, gorgeous upgrade. Yay! Please manual install, and then yes. Ooh, what do you want, Debula? Hello? Yo! You got the upgrade. Good work. Told you we'd come through for you. Thanks for the help. No worries. Always got to help the investigator of a mass murder. Don't forget to install it from Starlight's inventory. Don't you think there's a hassle? An unnecessary step? Friction is nice. Makes things more meaningful. I guess. We'll let you get back to it. Remember to buy more drinks. Buy more drinks. Aye aye. I do love being a corporate pawn. Or is it? Is it corporate pawn, or would it be someone slave to the corporation? Like those people that worship most consoles. Wait a minute. Is that from the island where... I don't remember seeing that before. No. Oh, wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute. I've not seen this before either. What? Ooh. Okay. I can move the crane around. I wonder if I can get it to pick anything up. I mean, what are we trying to get it to pick up? Swap crane card system over the barrier. Okay. I think, though, that now that I've got this, I'm probably going to wrap up here for the night, because I didn't realise I'd been doing this 3 hours. And I only meant to do it for 2, but I got carried away, because I like this game. But, yeah, so I'm going to, oh wait, I'm going to go save, and then call it quits. Found a save point. But now that I've got the upgrade for what was it? Twilight? No. I mean, I found the upgrade for Twilight. I can't remember the name of the upgrade. Nope. But we know now at least I can get into the 2 or 3 worship. That was it. I can get into the 2 or 3 different puzzles that I had not originally been able to get to. Which is a massive relief, because now I might actually start making forward progress again instead of sideways progress. Or horizontal progress, or whatever you want to call it. Basically just not going the way I want to. And why is it that I can never find a save point when I want one? I just need to make a note for next time. The first thing I need to do is go straight to Sam's place. Glittering sequin obtained. A strange folklore developed among citizens believing that scattering sequins outside their world would ward off demons. They do have a lot of weird folk tales, but then again, if they are all just kidnapped real world people, I probably have a few weird ideas myself. Because I mean, when you're desperate, I think you try or are desperate to believe that anything you do would have an effect. If you were in a place with a bunch of people who had complete and total control over you, then of course you'd be desperate. You just want to believe that you could do anything to stop anything about the bad situation you're in. Anyway. Right then. Thank you for being here, and thank you for chatting, and thank you for guiding me here and there, because I definitely got stuck a few times. So I hope you have a good night, and I'll see you around. Probably, oh yeah, Wednesday, when I do horror. And I'm going to do Layers of Fear. So have a good night. Bye for now. Bye-bye. Bye.